Against another of the powerhouses, the Dominican Republic. Albert Pujols, David Ortiz and company have held nothing back during the inaugural baseball summit. Playing not for peanuts but for pride, it's Puerto Rico against the Dominican Republic in the World Baseball Classic. ESPN2's telecast of the World Baseball Classic is presented by Taco Bell. And indeed, it is a classic. These fans and these players have waited a long time because this is the rivalry of the Caribbean. These two teams have gone against one another in the Caribbean World Series repeatedly. The Dominican Republic has won it 15 times. Puerto Rico has won it 14 times. And now they get to draw on major leaguers along with all of those prospects. Hello, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, Oral Hershiser. Orestes Destrada down on the field. Jose Mota will join us later. This is a great rivalry. It has been so for over a century. And now they finally get a chance to put all that talent on the field.
Oh, my, what talent it is. If Team Puerto Rico has its salsa, then Team Dominican has its merengue. And that means that they're a loose and a confident bunch, and they are led by one big boy, and that is Big Papi, the guy, David Ortiz, who can do it all. He does it with his bat. He does it with his mouth, too. He motivates this team, and this is going to be a team to beat in this round. And I tell you, from San Juan to Santo Domingo to Washington Heights to the Bronx, this is about Major League Baseball bragging rights right here.
And they both want it, and they want it bad. 7 home runs so far as a team for the Dominican. That means Puerto Rico's got to find some good pitching.
Well, they do. And Javier Vasquez on the mound tonight. The expectations are very high. They've changed for him in his life also. He's moved from Arizona to the Chicago White Sox. Tonight, he needs to have command of all of his pitches, his fastball and his changeup. When he can do that, he can get through this lineup. Normally, you look for all the holes. There's not many holes here with Pujols, Tejada. Oh, my gosh, he's got to be on top of his game.
You would think this was Game 7 of the World Series. Listen to that. That has been going on all afternoon, and it will be like that for the remainder here tonight. They have had a great time already, and they cannot wait for the commencement of this baseball game. And neither can we, because if there is a clear matchup of powers, this is it. A 21-game winner, Bartolo Colon, will be making the start when we come back.
ESPN2's telecast of the World Baseball Classic is presented by the Taco Bell Chicken Caesar Grilled Stuffed Burrito, the burrito for Chicken Caesar salad lovers, and in part by MLB 06 The Show, now available on PlayStation 2 and PlayStation Portable.
Absolutely delighted to have you with us. It is right now a beautiful evening. There have been some showers earlier on today. About 6:30, we had a couple of showers. Neither team got to take batting practice or fielding practice, but right now it's a glorious evening with the wind blowing out. We talked about this rivalry. Here's a man who's been part of it and knows all about it, Jose Mota.
Well, with all due respect to Cuba and Venezuela, this is the key matchup. You got 4 Caribbean powers in baseball meeting in the second round here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And with all due respect, hey, you know what? There's one thing. Puerto Rico depends on the U.S., Dominican, independent country. Big brother, little brother. 2 islands separated by only 75 miles. Over 300,000 Dominicans reside here in the island. And the ones representing all of them on the field tonight want to leave their mark.
They've made phone calls to one another, talked to one another before the game, tried to rub it in early and get it started. Both sides have done that. There is the starting lineup for Puerto Rico. One of the pleasant, in a way, surprise for them has been Bernie Williams at the top of the order. A home run and 4 RBIs and hitting in the leadoff spot. A so far very good performance by Bernie Williams, who will be in that lineup again tonight.
Tonight on the mound, Bartolo Colon, the American League Cy Young Award winner. Bartolo will feature his 95 to 98 mile-an-hour fastball, 2-seamer and 4-seamer. The interesting thing to watch tonight will be his intensity level. One of the things that he has learned to become such a successful pitcher is to concentrate all the way through a game, all the way through a lineup. It brought him 222 innings last year, and tonight I don't think concentration is going to be a problem.
And we're going to take a look at defense right now, and a good, strong defense for Team Dominica, but the key guy is going to be Alfonso Soriano, playing second base for his country and hopefully going to do a good job for him. But it might be another story when he goes back to his team that pays him, the Washington Nationals.
We'll talk about that story as we go along here tonight. Let it soak in, folks. Just let it soak in. There'll be over 20,000. This game sold out the first day. Tickets went on sale, and people waited at 3 o'clock in the morning yesterday for extra seats. The pitch to Bernie Williams, misses up high, and we are underway. These two teams playing the first game of the second round. Cuba came back from a very tough loss to Puerto Rico in the first round with a 7-2 win over Venezuela in the first game played here today. Bernie Williams takes it for a strike, and it is 1-1. It is a round robin format. You've got to win a couple of games in order to move on. Everybody has said and continues to say game one is vitally important. Bartolo Colon with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Bernie Williams up high.
Game one really is important. You're talking about a 3-game series basically, and you need to win 2 at least to move on, or at least a tie with another team, and then you go into the mathematics. But that first game has already been seen that is so key to win.
32-year-old right-hander Bernie Williams puts that one up in the air behind second base. Miguel Tejada will drift over. The wind will blow the ball that way probably all night. It is a strong wind, consistent wind blowing from left to right field. Williams is retired, 1 away. Take a look where we are. Round 2, pool 2. Cuba won their game this afternoon. Venezuela is really struggling here. They did in the first round, even though they made it through. 7-2 win. First game for the Dominican Republic in Puerto Rico.
A lot of fun to watch these two teams in this atmosphere. These players, we finally got to a stage really in this classic that the players know each other. There's no more surprises. This is big leaguers against big leaguers.
Ivan Rodriguez, who will be doing the catching, takes the pitch. High strike call to him. Both Puerto Rico and the Dominican will come in with 3-0 records from round 1. Rodriguez has gone 2 for 9 so far in the World Baseball Classic. That one will miss, and a 1-1 count.
And taking you guys, the fans, into the Puerto Rican clubhouse for a quick second. We had a nice little talk with both managers, Cheito, Kendo, and when I was leaving, I got a good chance to talk to Pudge.
That one towards right field, and it'll stay in the air and drop. Encarnacion couldn't get it. Into second base, Rodriguez.
Well, there you have it. Line drive, unfortunately, is going to get error on this play. It really should have made the play. Juan Encarnacion had a beat on it. Seemed to lose it maybe in the lights for a second, or he just misplayed it. Bottom line, man on second on a hard hit ball by Pudge Rodriguez.
He'll be credited with a double. A double.
Very kind.
Yeah, very kind.
In fact, that affects hopefully the ERA.
Colon now with a runner on at second base and working to Carlos Beltran. This lineup, you'll note as we go through it, it is just loaded. And even more so when we get to the Dominican Republic. Beltran has been just stupendous. 4 for 10, 2 home runs and 4 RBIs so far for Puerto Rico. The 4 RBIs is a tie for the team lead with Bernie Williams.
Well, Beltran to me looks very, very relaxed. Looks like he's in his Kansas City or his Houston days here. And after 1 year in New York, getting used to that situation, I think he's got a chance to have a big year.
Beltran with a chance for an RBI right here. The 1-1 delivery on the way is taken up high. 2-ball, 1-strike count.
You know, Gary, with all the emotion of this game, Bartolo Colon, the hardest thing for a starting pitcher is to start to compete right away. 1-2 batters into the game to have to find your release point to make key pitches. So this is a big at bat and a big pitch already.
Starting pitchers in first innings just rarely seem to go together, or Did you have a problem with first innings?
Well, you tried sometimes to throw your first inning in the bullpen to get it out of your system. And what really happens, you hear in the long term, you know, people always say get them early. Because once they get their rhythm, once they see where the holes are, once they get their release point, it's a lot harder to hit them.
Get Stuffer. 2 ball, 1 strike count. That one's going to be drilled to center field. Hit hard. Tavares going back. Has a beat on it. Hauls it in. Runner will tag. There'll be no play at third base. But a big out as Beltran ladled it.
Not only a big out, but now 2 very hard hit balls off of Bartolo Colon, who does, like Earl was saying, he does have the nature of getting stronger as the game progresses.
Well, it's a high fastball, and Carlos does a good job staying on top of that. Both balls, vintage Pudge Rodriguez hit to right center, and now Carlos Beltran with his sweet swing hitting that ball hard to center. Pudge tagging up and going to third, but with 2 outs, second or third is still in scoring position.
Boy, those balls have been tagged, as the rest has said. Bartolo Colon, 21-8 last year. A 3.48 earned run average. He was hittable. He gave up 215 hits in 222 innings, but he worked his way through jams. 2 down here. Javi Lopez will foul that one back. Lopez will be making the start at first base for Puerto Rico.
How well have the Puerto Rican team swung the bats in the last 3 games, and right off the bat here, swinging the bat well. They have come in very prepared. They've come in actually almost like the forgotten team of the Caribbean. Everybody talking about the mystique of Cuba, no doubt Dominica, Venezuela. Puerto Rico has been a pleasant surprise, and a lot of their veterans have come in fantastic shape. Is one thing I noticed.
As a team, they're batting .302 coming into this game. Both they and the Dominican have 7 home runs, which starting the day was more than any other team involved in the World Baseball Classic. So both have been able to produce some offense. Javi Lopez has gone 1 for 5. These players are going to be a lot like fans if they're not in the game. They're up on the top step. They've waited to see this matchup. 1-1 delivered down to third. That is a fair ball, bad hop. Beltran the play, and he got him. Beautiful play at third base on a bad hop that came off the carpet and took him in the chest. That's why you stay in front of it. No runs ahead and a runner left at third. Fine defensive play to end that first half inning. Now the Dominican Republic coming up here in a scoreless first. Tonight's starting lineups presented by MLB 06, The Show. There's the lineup for the Dominican Republic, talking about how there are no holes in that lineup. Adrian Beltre, you just saw, make a great play at third base. He has also been outstanding at the plate. 3 home runs and 8 RBIs.
Javier Vasquez on the mound. He'll be around 91 to 94 miles an hour. He's got a breaking ball and a changeup, low 3/4 delivery. Has a tendency at times in rough outings to get a little flat. Needs to stay up on top with his release point so the ball's driven downhill, especially with that wind blowing out to right. You don't want the ball in the air to right tonight.
We have seen here in San Juan, when that ball gets put up in the air to right field, it will carry, and the outfielders and infielders have struggled with balls hit in the air here, trying to keep track of them. Alfonso Soriano leading it off, takes it up high. He has not had a hit in the World Baseball Classic. He has gone 0 for 8 so far. He'd like to get one up into that wind, and he can drive the ball the other way.
Oh my goodness, can he ever.
2-0 delivery. That one, he got jammed on it. Valentin makes the play to first base.
And Cheito Oquendo, the manager for Team Puerto Rico, is so into his defense, and man, he's got a good one too. I tell you right now, the main guys to watch are going to be their defense is going to be Cintron and Cora up the middle. Those guys are electric. Cora, we remember him when he was that great double play combination with the Dodgers with Cesar Asturias. Cintron has proven to be a pretty darn good shortstop himself.
Good double play combination. Vasquez will want to keep that ball on the ground if he can. Javier Vasquez with a fastball. Miguel Tejada, the shortstop for the Dominican Republic. Tejada's had a 2 for 9, 1 RBI. Both of the hits he's had so far have been singles. 0-2.
Well, there's no shortage of leadership on this team with Miguel Tejada here, David Ortiz, Pujols. Miguel back in Baltimore with his team in the States. Definitely the emotional and baseball leader, but here he's just one of the guys.
0-2 delivery, and Vasquez will take that one back and try it again.
He's a special one of the guys, though. There's 140 RBIs, 30 home runs, good defense.
0-2 count on him. Pitch will be taken outside. This Dominican Republic team, as far as their offense is concerned, they have had a .314 team batting average, 7 home runs hit. They have scored 25 runs. Puerto Rico has scored 22. Got him.
So far, Javier Vasquez has the ball going down. This is a breaking ball, very, very sharp. 12-6 breaking ball, getting Tejada out in front. But outstanding how that ball came through the window of his fastball and then turned into a breaking ball.
Vasquez very sharp here in the first inning. 2 down, nobody on, and here's Albert Pujols playing at first base. St. Louis Cardinals, great. Takes the pitch inside for a ball. He has gone 5 for 9 and has delivered a home run in the first 3 games played. Will take. He wanted a strike before he was going to swing. 1-1.
Arguably the best hitter in all of baseball. Definitely the best one of the best right-handed hitters in all of baseball.
Power, gap power, line drives. And
one of the reasons that he is that he does hit to all fields. And one of the things that he does very, very well, and very few do it like him, actually Alex Rodriguez does too. He's able to slice the ball and get that backspin. Sometimes he'll hit a fly ball to center or right center, and you're seeing it on TV, and it looks like he really didn't get it. That happens with Alex a lot. But they did, because they have such great timing, and they're able to approach the ball and almost slice it.
Pujols takes that inside. In his 5-year career at the major league level so far, he's already got a .332 career batting average, and that's obviously just 5 seasons in. But I mean, he's putting up numbers that rank him with the greats of all time. 3-1 pitch, a hard chopper to short. Cintron bobbles it, and an error will be charged. And Vasquez is going to have to work longer.
Yeah, which once again we had to mention the pitch count.
Well, that will hurt the pitch count. It's 80 in this round. But this ground ball by Pujols to short, you have to remember this AstroTurf here is not like a normal AstroTurf. It's a little softer, and this last bounce doesn't come up. It might have fooled Alex a little bit. See, it gets into the glove, but not with the velocity maybe he was used to. It didn't really impact the glove and stay in there.
So they get a break. The Dominican Republic does. Let's see whether or not they can take advantage of it. The error charged at short. Cintron, Vasquez, as Oral says, you can see how the hitters in the first inning are on top of that thing, just pounding it into the dirt in front of home plate. This is a slow carpet. Ortiz with 2 down and a runner on at first base, and the designated hitter goes to the ground. Cora very deep has got it, and that's that. No runs, no hits, an error, and a base runner left on. This Puerto Rican staff, 3 earned runs so far and none there. Great to have you with us here in San Juan, and the flags of the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico will be on the fly here tonight. You'll see all kinds of them here in the stands. The pitch is taken up high as Jose Cruz Jr. will lead it off. Ricky Leday will follow him, and then Valentin. Cruz 1 for 6, making the start in right field in this ball game. Ladles it, but it's a foul ball.
I'll tell you what, I got to agree with our partner down there in crime, Jose Mota. Nothing to take away from Cuba and Venezuela, but this is the daddy game right here. These two guys have been so excited. You can see we were down in the field and they were just talking about this.
That one towards second base. Soriano on a running throw. He's got him one away. Cruz is retired. Talking about that field down there, let's check in with Jose Mota. Jose.
Well, let's keep in mind that it's a very slick turf right now, especially in left center field. We had some rain here till about 8:30 or so. Most guys are not wearing their plastic cleats. They're going to metal cleats, and we're expecting some showers around 10:30.
And thank you, Jose, for that tremendous, exciting update. Rain. I'm not going to throw it to you again.
We're in the Caribbean and we got rain. You don't want that. You want sunshine.
Showers that have been moving through here late this afternoon. We're hoping they just keep right on moving. No score. We are in the second inning. Leday. Ricky Leday is playing in left field. 1 for 2 in the WBC.
Ricky facing Bartolo with the velocity Bartolo has, the wind blowing out to right. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and cheat and get the head out on one, hit a nice solid routine fly ball to right.
Bartolo Colon, even though there's only been 1 hit off him, the balls continue to be stung that have been hit for outs, including that ground by Cruz that got hit pretty well. Bartolo Colon will throw 70 to 75 pitches, even though he can go to 80. Another hard hit ball, center field. Tavares up, base hit Leday.
Well, we know that Ricky Leday can hit fastballs. He's never had a problem hitting fastballs wherever he's been. New York Yankees, Dodgers, and he gets another fastball from Bartolo Colon, and he stays behind it and drills it right up the middle. And a nice thing that Team Puerto Rico is getting, Jose Oquendo, he's getting a lot of effort, a lot of good stuff from his lesser-known guys, not the big boys, but the Cintrones and the Ricky Ledays. They've been doing, the core have been doing a fantastic job.
Valentin up now with a runner on at first base. 2 hits on the board against Colon. Will Puerto Rico try and run? The Dominican Republic is going to play Earl Weaver 3 RBIs at a time on a homer kind of baseball. Puerto Rico, though, even though they've got 7 home runs, less likely to hit homers. Will they try and play a little small ball early in the game? I'm going to find out. 0-1 count. Leday with a short lead. Valentin, the third baseman.
That type of baseball would favor their manager, Jose Oquendo. That was the type of player he was. He could do everything from a great glove man or do anything you wanted with the bat, sacrifice, hit and run. And Bartolo paying a little attention over there to Ricky Leday.
Puerto Rico has run a little bit. They've got 4 stolen bases and 5 chances in the first round. And obviously Colon aware of that with Leday over there, who's not noted for having great speed, really. He's not one of the guys I would think is going to be running.
He's a runner, but it's more the range in the outfield for playing defense, not exceptional speed for stealing bases.
He's not stepped off a very big lead over there. He could see a hit and run here. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that one's going to miss outside. 1-1.
No, you're right. Ricky Leday is a very above average physical athlete. He's just not a speedster, but he runs very well in the outfield. Good arm, and he's just a good all-around major league ball player. We might see something here. Valentin is an excellent, especially from the left-hand side, fastball hitter.
Leday on at first base. Towering pop-up. Second base. Soriano puts it away. Valentin is retired. You see how wary Soriano was. 2 things they have to be concerned with. The lights here are not major league lights. Don't mean that to diminish the ballpark, but they're not. You got to keep an eye on that ball or you'll lose it. And the other thing is that wind.
Well, the lights in a major league park are a little bit higher. They have a better angle to them. These are a little bit more direct, so when the fielders look up, the lights hit them quicker.
We'll see outfielders in particular struggling with the line drives that come out of the lights. That one towards first base. Nice play. Pujols. They get the force out at second. That's how it's done. No runs ahead and 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the second. Puerto Rico Dominican zips it. 2 undefeated teams in the first round of the World Baseball Classic. Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, the great rivals in Caribbean baseball. We go to the second inning. Moises Salou. His manager says he's young again. Fouled it off. It is a foul ball. He has come to the World Baseball Classic afire and playing like he's about 10 years younger than what he is.
39 years old and playing like a 29 or 19-year-old even emotionally. Talking to him down there on the field, just said, "Are you having fun?" He goes, "Oh, I'm having so much fun. These guys are making me younger every day."
He's been one of the many leaders on this Dominican team. 4 for 7 with a home run for Moises. Pitch is taken outside, just missed with it. 1-1.
Moises has gotten out of the limelight the last couple of years of being one of the top Dominican players. You know, has been replaced by Tejada and a very worthy David Ortiz. But I think in this team, he really is the silent leader that they go to.
And he has produced. A little bit behind, fouls it off, and it'll be 1-2.
You know, talking to him about the timing of the Classic, he is real excited about this being the time right here. He says at times spring training for sure, especially at his age, can get a little boring. And this keeps him excited, gets him enough at bats, gets him in the flow of things, and he's looking forward to this year and thinks this is great preparation for him.
1-2 delivery. Alou takes that one to right field. That's going to be an Adam ball. Cruz is there. Alou's retired. In a close game, defense matters.
Yes, sir. And there's Adrian Beltre, who can play a very, very good first base. Realizes that gets a big hop. I mean, the bad hop, adjusts, strong arm. This kid now with Seattle Mariners had a dismal year last year. Was expected so much. He's come on strong already early in this World WBC, and we're expecting big things from him.
3 home runs and 8 RBIs. Vasquez delivers a strike to him. Obviously, with those numbers, he leads this team in home runs and in RBIs. 1 shy of Albert Pujols for the team lead in hits. Pujols has 5. Beltre with 4. Vasquez 1-1.
This is another benefit of the WBC for the players. We talk about Moises Alou, great preparation, but Adrian Beltre getting to hang out with David Ortiz, Louis Pujols, talking hitting, hanging around the hotel.
Manny Acta said, as with Alou, he felt that Beltre came back, probably of all the players, more ready to play baseball on day 1 than anyone. He came like it was the season was starting.
Physically and mentally.
Yeah. And it is shown. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Javier Vasquez 11-5 last year on the mound. That one drilled way back in center field. Warning track wall. Goodbye. Home run. In 4 games, 9 RBIs. Adrian Beltre, it is a 1-0 lead for the Dominicans.
I would say he is locked in pretty well right now, and his swing is nice. He's opened himself up a little bit, and he's kind of freed himself up. Another great thing about being in this lineup, a pitcher has got to get pretty tired by the time he's battled all these monsters. Here's a fastball, what I think it was a fastball out over the plate. He has a nice fluid swing, doesn't overswing on that one, gets a full extension, Gary, and forget about it.
Grounded down to third by Juan Encarnacion. That is the first home run. Beltre gets it to be surrendered by the Puerto Rican pitching staff in this World Baseball Classic.
Javier Vasquez made a nice solid pitch, had good action, a little bit too much of the plate, but Adrian Beltre put a great swing on it.
1 down, base is empty. The 0-2 delivery. Nice play. Vasquez fields his position. 2 down.
What I was referring to, I mean, batting 7th in this lineup, or 6th, did I say? A pitcher would have already have to gone through Soriano, Tejada, Pujols, Ortiz, Alou. By then, I mean, especially when you get later in the game, you're concentrating so hard, expending so much energy on those guys that you might make a mistake on a pitch.
And you don't want to do that with this lineup. Juan Brito is doing the catching in this game tonight. Brito, a 26-year-old, spent last season AAA ball with the Arizona Diamondbacks, led the Pacific Coast League catchers in fielding percentage. There you see the numbers he put up at AAA. He had played back with the Kansas City Royals a bit before at the major league level. Big hop. Cetron's throw is on the money, and that will do it. But damage done. 1 run, 1 hit. Nobody left on base with 1 down. Adrian Beltre came up and delivered it just to the left of straightaway center field, and it's 1-0 Dominican. Bartolo Colon is ready to go, and the pitch is taken for a strike as Alex Cora will be leading it off for Puerto Rico here in the top of the 3rd inning. The Dominican Republic on top 1-0 on the homer. Bartolo Colon try and find a couple of easy outs here and find a way to keep these bats of Puerto Rico from continuing to sting the baseball, because if that keeps going, they're going to get some runs.
Well, if Bartolo gets the ball down, he will get more effective and weaker outs. But right now he continues to throw the ball from the waist up. That's something you can do later in the game when he's at 95, 98 miles an hour when he gets into his game. But early in the game, he tries to pitch around 90 to 93, kind of get on cruise control, find his rhythm. But you do that with these kind of lineups, they can hurt you.
He's got a 2-1 count to Cora. That ball hit the Soriano at second base. The backhand scoop. Cora is retired. 1 down here in the 3rd inning. Bernie Williams at the top of the order will be coming up, and he always gets a great hand. Want to remind you, ESPN2's coverage of the World Baseball Classic. It'll be Mexico taking on Korea tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 Pacific on ESPN2 and ESPN2 HD. The United States won their ball game today against Japan. Question mark. Oh, man. I feel for Japan after watching that tag play in the 9th inning where that sac fly didn't count. That was a bummer. Pitch is taken up high. Bernie Williams popped out his first time up.
And it was a confusing play.
Yeah.
It was just.
U.S. made an appeal play and a sac fly and got the out at third base on what would have been the go-ahead run in the 9th inning for Japan. And it sure didn't look like the player left too soon. There you see the Pool 1 standings. U.S. on top, beating Japan. Korea, Mexico playing their first game in the 2nd round. That one that's on at 11 o'clock on ESPN2. U.S. winning it 4-3. Bernie Williams swung out and missed that one. Bartolo Colon has made 1 start. He pitched against Venezuela in Orlando. He threw 50 pitches, allowed 3 hits, no runs, 3 innings. He had a walk and 2 strikeouts in that game. He can go as many as 80 in this one, but probably will not. 1-2 delivery to Williams.
I think Bernie caught a break right there on that pitch. But, you know, in watching Bernie and the hot start he's had here in the WBC and how great his body looks, one of the things you think about is he doesn't have to play center field anymore. So his strength training in the offseason was more towards bulk and strength for batting, not worrying about defense and speed and the range in center field. And I think that's why his bat has gotten quicker.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery to him. A lot of foul territory here. Beltre, wind blowing it back to him. 2 down.
And you mentioned Bernie Williams. I tell you what, I mean, this is for me, for everybody, a fun game right here with 2 great superstar-filled teams, but also professionals. I mean, there are some players here like Bernie Williams, Moises Alou, Miggy Tejada, Alberto Pujols. You know, you don't hear negative things about these guys. These guys are just out there doing their job day in and day out for 10, 15 years. Some of them for the same team. You know, stuff that you used to see back in the old days. So it's a pleasure to watch these guys work.
Here's another one of them. Ivan Rodriguez, Pudge, doing the catching, had a double his first time up, stranded. He is 3 for 10 so far in the WBC. 15 years already at the major league level. He will bring a .304 career batting average into this new season with the Detroit Tigers and their new manager Jimmy Leland.
Oh yeah, and I wanted in the first inning, I forgot to mention when I was in the clubhouse and he was going to the bathroom. He came out, gave me a hug, said hello, Orestes, and then when he went to the he had his bat in his hand and he went to the bathroom to watch his swing. He's talking to me while he's practicing his swing and looking in the mirror.
And that point when we were talking about that before the game, Orestes, was just how much he's into the game.
They are into this game, from the young guys to the multi-million-dollar ball player.
This is a tremendous rivalry in the Caribbean, as Many of these players have played in the Caribbean World Series, and as we mentioned at the top, the Dominican has won it 15 times. Puerto Rico has won it 14 times, so they played against one another over and over and over.
Well, it would be no problem getting a good advertisement for future games from the Latino community. These guys have had a blast. They are absolutely loving it, and competing against each other is just a highlight.
2-2 delivery and a breaking ball, and Bartolo Colon gets his first strikeout. He retires the side in order. The Dominican leads it 1-0. Baseball is indeed spoken here in the Caribbean and in Puerto Rico. As you drive around the island, this is what you see in town after town. Luquezio is the name of this town, and on the northwest section of the island, youngsters of all ages play. And that's those of us in my age group who grew up doing this. You go out in the early morning and you play all day and stay out there until someone calls you for dinner. And it's kind of like that in many of the islands, and especially here in Puerto Rico, where baseball's been around since about 1900, introduced by the Cubans who came here to work. Willie Tavares batting in the number 9 spot. There are now 120 players born in Puerto Rico signed to Major League Baseball organizations. 0-1 count, and it's taken away.
Yeah, rich history of baseball here, and we would be amiss not to mention the greatest of all baseball players from this great island, El Comete de Carolina, the Comet of Carolina, the great Roberto Clemente.
And obviously that the heroes that they have for the youngsters to follow in this island and in many of the Caribbean teams. I mean, they're just some of the great names in baseball, period.
It's one of the goals of the WBC to create role models around the world to enhance the game.
Breaking ball misses away by ball. This goes to 1 ball 2 strikes. Javier Vasquez on the mound here. He has had 1 strikeout, no walks. Both pitchers with pretty good control. He's got the ground balls. Rodriguez calling for him behind the plate. Talk about Puerto Rican stars. There are a couple of them right there. Took something off the breaking ball. That'll be up the middle for a base hit. Tavares gets his first hit. He was 0 for 8.
Well, a little bit of a high curveball, but Tavares does the right thing for his abilities. Hit the ball on the carpet and then scoop. This young man hit over .330 in the playoffs and World Series for the Houston Astros, and probably be the catalyst for the Houston Astros for a long time to come. And now we might see some action on the base paths. Maybe the one guy on the Dominican team that will do some running. The rest of the boppers will just swing the bat.
And that's the first hit that the 2 batters in the 9 and 1 spot have had in this World Baseball Classic. Soriano now is 0 for 9. He grounded out his first time up. He'll take the breaking ball away. He is not much for laying the ball down, so don't look for a bunt here.
Don't look for a bunt. And I really didn't know Alfonso was a glove man. 0 for 9. He's had 3 opportunities in the field to pop up in the 2 ground balls that he's fielded flawlessly. Probably some of the ribbing he's getting back with the Nationals. Some of the pitchers have been handing him an outfield glove saying, do you want to go shag out there?
Obviously his situation is they want to move him. Jose Vidros coming back for Washington to play second base. They want Alfonso to go into the outfield. He doesn't want to go into the outfield, and the issue is unsettled, to say the least.
And it's a very difficult issue because you got Frank Robinson who demands a lot of respect as a manager and deserves it.
Soriano's all but said he said, I don't want to play the outfield. We have speculated, knowing Frank Robinson, one of the things that might happen with Soriano is there's going to come a point where he's going to see a lineup. His name's going to be in it. It's going to have an outfield number by it. And if he doesn't go out to play it, he'll be suspended.
Him and Vidro both run out to second base at the same time.
That's a possible conclusion. That's a possible conclusion.
2-0 count, runner at first. Tavares got a pretty good lead over there. He's got that front foot on the carpet.
You know,
Javier Vasquez.
When I was growing up, I used to build these jigsaw puzzles. They used to come with little mystery books, and you had to build the puzzle to find out the answer. So you read the book, and there was a mystery murder or something, and then you built the jigsaw puzzle. Well, we're going to watch this puzzle unfold, and we're going to see it come opening day.
And the puzzle making of it has been delayed by the World Baseball Classic. Foul off, since obviously Soriano's not in camp. He's here. So he's going to have to wait till he gets back to the Nationals camp, depending on how far they go. It could be just a week before the regular season starts.
You know, the controversy comes with the Not the bat. He was one of the best hitting second basemen possibly of all time right there, standing there with that bat. But the glove, and I have never had a problem with his glove in big game situations. It's the concentration over 162 games is where he starts to kind of slack off. But you get him in a big game in Yankee Stadium or a big series, he is going to be good with the guante.
Yeah. Close play. He was going. Tavares had the lean on and just got back. There you see his numbers. 5 years at 282. 32 home runs, 92 RBIs, and the stolen bases. He's always up among the leaders. Tavares is challenging now Javier Vazquez. He's got that foot firmly planted on the carpet. Another half step more than he had.
Well, that's only half the problem challenging Javier. The guy behind the plate with his 11 gold gloves, Pudge Rodriguez, will have something to say if he decides to take off.
Rodriguez looking over into the dugout for signs. Tavares still has the big lead. Vazquez, there goes the runner. Inside out. Foul territory, and that'll be in the seats. So he was going.
He's two strikes now. Unfortunately, Alfonso Soriano is not the type of hitter that hits behind the runner very well. He's just a free swinger. If the ball's outside, maybe he'll go to right field. If it's inside, I'm trying to pull it. You know, he doesn't have that approach like a Derek Jeter right there in that situation. We'll see a pitch out over the plate right there, and he would take advantage of the defense moving a little bit and punch one through the hole, and they'd have a first and third.
It's another problem Soriano presents is where do you hit him in a lineup?
Really not first, I'll be honest with you.
And probably not second.
You are correct.
2-2 delivery, runner not going. 3-2.
For me, he is probably a true number 5 hitter.
Yeah.
The only reason you might not want him down there is because once he's on base, he does run very well. So the stolen base, the first to third, the man on first double in the gap he can score on. But the free swinging, the not situational hitting, it's tough to hit him in the top of the order.
3-2 count, nobody out.
And just in a prototypical sense, if you had the perfect lineup, I mean, on any given team, having him lead off, having him hit second, having him hit third is fine. But if you had the prototypical place to play him.
And Bulldog, you just came from the same team as him as a pitching coach of the Texas Rangers. And Buck Showalter, who I know very well from my old Yankee days, you know, he probably had a little bit of trouble with Alfonso Soriano in the sense of he loved his production at the end of the end of the season. But those little things, Buck is a very little kind of thing manager. Move the runner over, do those things. So in some senses, tell me his assessment of how he looked at Alfonso.
Well, Buck understood baseball ratios, the baseball culture of what you're trying to do, and Alfonso really is the free swinger. You know, you don't get off the island by walking.
3-2 runner goes, got him, throw down Rodriguez, he's out. Strike him out, throw him out, double play.
And I might have been ball 4 right there, and you just said it. He's not afraid to swing, and Pudge Rodriguez is not afraid to be quick behind the plate with his feet and that rocket arm that still, after 15 seasons, can get one of the quickest base runners in the world.
Boy, do I like what I just saw at second base. I want to see that again. I have a thing about shortstops and second basemen who won't put their leg in front of the bag to block runners sliding in and olay it. Cora had that knee right in front of the bag. There was no way that the runner Tavares was going to get in. That one drilled down the line into left field. Pujols off the wall. Tejada rather will make the turn, and there'll be no throw to second base. You watch this at second base and ask yourself, is the runner safe if he doesn't have his leg here? Tavares in. Cora, look where he puts the leg down. He gives up his leg to block the base. The runner can't get to it. The tag's put on. You will see that a half dozen times in the course of a major league season because nobody does it anymore.
Well, Alex's knee deflects the foot around the bag.
Love it. And that's the kind of player he is. He'll do that because he's a down in the dirt kind of infielder. Jose.
Orel, you brought up a good point regarding Alfonso Soriano in concentration focus for 162 games. I'll tell you one guy that does not take a playoff or a pitch off Ivan Rodriguez. That play right there tells me everything about Ivan. And right now is holding on to that one-run Dominican lead by his concentration and not breaking the sequence with Vasquez pitching, thinking about just throwing the guy out at second.
You're right, Jose.
Great throw. That's the way it gets done. The double picked up by Miguel Tejada. Now Albert Pujols. Big cut. That one turned in on him.
Well, Jose makes a great point because Pudge bearing down, making that great throw. Alex Cora at second, deflecting the foot, the point you made, Gary. And then Tejada's hit. There's the run. There's the game. And so right here, we're watching some big league ball and details that are changing the score.
Pujols reached on an error his first time up. 2 down, runner on at second base. The Dominican leading it by a score of 1-0. They've got 3 hits on the board now.
The intensity is definitely, you could cut it with a knife. You could feel it, that these guys are intense. They're honed in. This is mid-March, and they're playing, like you said earlier, like if it was October. Something that, conversely, the Venezuelan team couldn't do earlier today. But these guys are definitely doing it tonight.
Venezuela lost to Cuba 7-2.
Didn't just lose, they didn't look like they were there.
Javier Vasquez, 0-2 count. Rodriguez keeps it out in front of him. Vasquez trying to bear down and prevent that run from scoring at second base with 2 away. Tejada will be running on contact here.
You know, they talk about the great baseball fans in New York and St. Louis, all the different great cities in the United States. I'll tell you what, we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And these fans are really into it.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. He waited. Boy, you talk about strength. He had a double clutch on that swing and somehow still fouled it off.
A fastball up and in, gets his foot down early. One of the keys. Read the pitch, tracked it, and fought it off.
Again, he waits so well on pitches, and he waits for the pitches to get in the hitting zone. The hitting zone is really kind of a imaginary zone that you don't try to go after the ball. You wait for the ball to come into you. It's so easy to say, but really kind of hard to do sometimes.
Javier Vasquez saw Tees waiting on deck. 2 down, 1-2 count. So far, the play at second base on Tavares has saved a run here in this half inning. Pujols trying to get one right here. Fastball inside.
Oro, what are you thinking right now as a Javi Vasquez, when you've got Big Papi on deck, got an open base, but he's a lefty against righty.
I'm going to try and make him pull the ball. I like where Jose Valentin is down the line. I like a sinker inside. The ball to right field's carrying very well, and Pujols just with a deflected swing can hit it out over there.
2-2 got him. Laid it on the outside corner. Vasquez gets his second strikeout. A key defensive throw out by Pudge to Cora, and the attempted steal saved a run. We've completed 3, and the Dominican Republic has a 1-0 lead. The Dominican Republic leading Puerto Rico 1-0, and their manager is Manny Acta, third base coach with the New York Mets, managing here. Manny, how'd you like to take this team along to a major league season?
It'll be fun, but I don't think too many owners can afford this this payroll right here. But it's been fun so far. These guys, I've been playing their hearts out, and I'm enjoying it.
It's got to be nice, Manny. This is Oral Hershiser, to get your horse Bartolo Colon a run.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know that usually when you score first, you got a pretty good chance of winning the ball game, and we'd like to get some room for him. But you know, we got a tough guy in front of us too, and Javi Vasquez.
Manny, the intensity, you can feel it not only in the stands, but I think in the dugouts too. Your players seem to be very pumped up for this game.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one thing that's going to be easier in this second round. We're not going to have to work very hard and getting the intensity level up like we did in the first round after we played Venezuela.
Manny, thanks very much and good luck.
All right, thank you guys.
Manny Acta, who is the manager of the Dominican Republic. We go to work here in the 4th inning. Puerto Rico down 1-0. 1 run, 3 hits for the Dominican Republic. The home run by Beltre that came in the second inning, his 4th of the WBC, has put them on board. Carlos Beltran flied out to center field. Bartolo Colon, no walks and 1 strikeout so far. 2 hits off him. Gets a strike inside, 1-1.
It's a great confrontation right here. Great fastball hitter, Carlos Beltran. One of the ways you're going to see to hit a hard fastball, though, is to stay relaxed.
Like that. That one's going to go through Albert Pujols, making the turn. Encarnacion is up with it. His throw not in time. Looked like maybe it could have been stopped, but it's a double.
Well, one of the few breaking balls that Bartolo Colon has thrown so far in this game. Carlos gets the head out on it. Nice and relaxed in quick hands to try and hit a fastball, but the breaking ball, and you still crunch that thing down the line.
That'll be his first double and his 5th hit. The chant is Javi. Javi Lopez robbed of a hit on a fine play by Beltre at third on a bad hop ground ball. Will foul that one off.
You know, it's interesting about this this turf over here, because there was another example right there. The ball took kind of a weird hop. Turfs, usually you get pretty true, consistent hop, especially when it stays on the green, as opposed to hitting a lip or hitting the dirt. But we've seen it over there, and we've seen it earlier, and sometimes it's slow. That one kind of came up again on Albert Pujols, who's an above-average defensive first baseman.
0-1 count, runner at second base. Down to third, not going to get that one. That's going to score a run. Beltran, he'll score. Lopez, second base. Game tied at 1.
Javi Lopez tomahawks this ball down the third baseline for a double, and his first pitch that he faced Bartolo, he was trying to go the opposite way as a team guy. Took 1 pitch to do that, and then said, I'm going to hit for myself and drive this run in. And right now we're into another situation with a man on second and no out. Jose Cruz Jr. coming up. And I would look for him to possibly bunt or to pull the ball to the right side.
Bartolo Colon, first 2 men in the 4th inning against him, doubles. Beltran has scored. Lopez his second RBI of the Classic. He wanted to hack that to the right side, but it was way over his head and outside. 0-1.
There's no way he's going to pull a Bartolo Colon up and away fastball around. You can do that with a slower velocity pitcher, but that's not going to happen with this kid.
Tejada holding the runner at second base. That one he did get around on. Soriano, congratulate him. That's one for the team.
That was one he could get around. Big difference from up and away to out, up and out over the plate. Great piece of hitting by the youngster.
Well, you're right, Orestes. This ball is not quite as far away. It's a little more of a two-seamer, but doesn't quite get away. And back-to-back pitches in about the same area, and he made the adjustment. Bartolo definitely didn't want that out to the right side. That's why he was working him away.
Now a chance for Puerto Rico to take the lead here in the 4th inning. They've gotten 1 run in. The infield's going to move in. So you can see these managers playing this game tight to the best. Ricky Leday takes a strike on the inside corner. Lopez is not a fast runner at third. The carpet is slow, so it gives the infield a chance to move in to try for a play at the plate. And that's not what he wanted. Popped it back. May not be room. It's behind the screen.
Oh, as a hitter right now, when you do that, all you're saying is, oh, come on, go foul. You're just trying to be cool but you're trying to will that ball to go foul because he knows he just missed a fastball all over the plate. Again, we mentioned before, Ricky Leday, one thing he is a very, very good fastball hitter out over the plate. He hits it well to left center and right center, and that's what he's looking to do right now.
You know, in this infield in situation is just to get to the point where you make the ball go through. It's not a life or death infield in. It's infield in to kind of put some instruction in the runner's eye at third.
He singled his first time up. Leday, the 0-2 delivery to him, way up high by Bartolo, 1-2.
If this was the ninth inning, the infield would be in past the white lines where it kind of shows the line of demarcation for the infield where the dirt would be in the grass. Right here, they're in probably at about a 3 depth. A 1 depth is all the way back. A 4 depth is life or death, and a 3 depth is about where they are.
Trying to get that lead is Lopez at third, as far as he can go. 1-2 count to Ricky Leday. Get a close shave from Bartolo.
Nothing wrong with that pitch. I mean, I don't think he was so much on purpose trying to throw it there. He's trying to throw it in. He's missing high.
Well, one of the last pitches that comes around is the fastball in, and especially the knockdown. As you're a pitcher and you're getting into your season, the fastball in for a strike is probably the last pitch to come.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery to Leday, and it's 3-2.
And you start working in spring training with your fastball away and then bring your changeup along. You slowly will bring your hardest breaking ball along because of the stress on the arm. And then last but not least, as the command comes, the fastball in is the last pitch.
Team Cuba tends to have that pitch in their repertoire, don't they?
Yeah, the fastball,
curveball, slider change, and then cabeza ball. Yeah. They use it a lot.
Runner at third base, 1 down. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Leday takes it, and he's on. The first walk by Colon.
Bartolo really is saying, I know where the hole is, I know where I need to get the out, and that's up and in, and I am not changing, even if I have to walk you. It sets up the double play. And he's pretty much got the same situation in his head, a left-handed hitter that he could possibly strike out, or now a double play ball.
You are absolutely right. I tell you what, I've seen this guy, and sometimes you think that he's not really thinking out there, and some pitches go so wild, but he really does have a plan, and he's been the winningest pitcher for the last, I believe, 8 or 9 years in the major leagues, so he's got to be doing something right.
A visit to the mound. Keep in mind the pitch count rule for the Classic has changed for the second round. 65 in the first round, 80 pitches allowed now for any pitcher in round 2. And it'll go up to 95 for the semis and the final. But both managers told us today for these starters they do not want to go beyond the 75 mark and would prefer that they stay near 70.
Well, that workload for Bartolo would not be very hard. He started early. He looks in great shape. His arm is responding to the work that he's been having. I know back home in the U.S., Mike Scioscia and Bud Black of the L.A. Angels are going to be watching this closely tonight and see if he labors or not. But he's throwing the ball well, free and easy, staying away from his breaking ball as of late, and we shall see.
Now Jose Valentin coming to the plate. Runners at first and third. Puerto Rico has tied the game up in the RBI by Javi Lopez, bringing Beltran home. Now they've got a chance to go on top for the first time in the game. Bartolo Colon wants the ground ball double play. A fastball up high, and that's where he spent a lot of the night, up high. 12 at bats in the Classic. He is looking for his first RBI. If he gets it, he'll be the 13th different player for Puerto Rico with an RBI in the Classic, if he gets it. Outside, 2-0.
There's a good opportunity right here for the veteran Jose Valentin to hone in on one pitch.
I've heard of a clean ballpark, but this is ridiculous. They're washing off the top of the dugouts in the 4th inning.
They are doing that in the 4th inning. You think they know there's a game or not?
That's probably a pina colada got spilled down there. Pitches away, and it goes to 3-0.
Well, it'll probably be taking right here. Jose has been hitting a lot of fly balls. His timing's just been a tad off. Hitting a lot of those semi-deep fly balls to center and to right from the left side. So he's not that far off. if he takes one here and then gets back to 3-1, you might see him unload on one.
Wind blowing hard to right field. 3-0 delivery. He does take it. 3-1.
Well, falling behind in the count 3-0 is one bad thing. The second bad thing is you're going to probably lose the double play here with the 3-1. The runner might be going. So now the double play ball turns into an RBI.
Would you squeeze here?
Not me.
3-1 delivery on the way. That one is popped up. Right center. Watch this win. Soriano at second. Encarnacion, center fielder. Alou, runners not going. Tavares came in to make the play. Everybody got over there. Tavares, the center fielder. And those are the problems that infielders and outfielders have encountered with this wind here during the first round and now into the second.
Well, a high fastball by Bartolo and a 3-1 count. Jose Valentin chases this. Well, no, it's low. Pops it up, and just like Orestes has talked about, his timing is a little bit off. Tavares doing a great job coming in and calling everyone off. He's the captain of that play. Soriano bailing, Tavares catching, and getting that ball home.
Showing a strong arm, too. That's what I was talking about. Valentin is just missing some of these pitches, and that's one that at least he drives a little better. That was down and in where he loves it.
The play by Tavares. If Soriano makes that catch, that run probably scores. His back was to the infield. Now Bartolo Colon's got a chance to get out of this. Centron up, hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. One of the younger stars playing for Puerto Rico. The shortstop. First and third, 2 down. Arizona Diamondbacks. It's where he plays. Takes that one to first. Short hopped. It'll be played by Pujols. And there's a good job by Colon to get out of that. 1 run on 2 hits with a couple of base runners left. 1-1. This game is tied at 1 apiece as we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The home run picked up by Beltre.
En dirección hacia el jardín central. A lo profundo. Y no. Díganle que no esa pelota.
The one and only Ernesto Perez from ESPN Deportes. Beautiful call.
There you go. Ortiz. That's one of the weakest swings you'll ever see him take right there as he grounded out his first time up. And there they are working. Candy Maldonado on the left. Perez on the right. You know that was a home run.
Oh, yeah.
There was no question about that. Just listen to that call. 1-1 game. 0-2 delivery. 19,000 umpires had that as a strike, but the guy behind the plate didn't.
Every single one. I tell you what, I was expecting a few more on the Dominican side, but I think the Puerto Ricans bought the tickets a long time ago.
Javier Vasquez has got a couple of Ks. Misses that one. That one slipped on him. 2-ball, 2-strike count to Ortiz.
They beat him. They beat him to the punch because it is a sold-out Boricua house.
Over 20,000, probably well over, even though the seating capacity is at 19
exactly.
plus. Ortiz, 2-ball, 2-strike count. He's had 2 hits in the Classic. Both of them have been home runs. He's 2 for 8. Designated hitter. If he ever gets a ball up into the air and pulls it, we may never see it come down with this wind blowing. I mean, he could launch a rocket here. That wind continues to blow left to right. It is steady off the water. 3-2 delivery. Center field. Beltran.
Just missed that one. Here you go. That was a hanger. One that he normally either drives over the the Green Monster in Fenway, or he'll hook that ball a little bit. The beauty of his swing, the reason that I like him so much, is that he got great balance for a big guy. If you notice, he sits kind of down on his butt a little bit, and he rarely overstrides, and so that gives him the opportunity, very much a la.
Second base, another hop. That play by Cora. Olu's retired, and there are 2 down.
You know, Adrian Beltre coming up here has made a major adjustment for me since last year. You can see him in the 05 footage on the left. He's a little bit more closed, a little bit the front shoulder, almost peeking at the pitcher with only one eye, his left eye, and he has to wrap around through a closed hip with his swing, very, very long. Here now in 06, here in spring, but the WBC, the front shoulder is a little bit more open, looking at the pitcher with 2 eyes, and those hands have a lot clearer track to get to the hitting area, and a lot shorter and a lot quicker.
There's no doubt about it, and he's also trying to stay more quiet. The guy I was going to compare Big Papi to was to Albert Pujols, another guy that kind of sits down a little bit. Jeff Bagwell in their heyday sits down, and they don't jump out at the ball, and they let their hands do the talking.
2 down here, nobody on. 1-1 ball game in the 4th inning. Juan Encarnacion is waiting on deck. Beltre's home run came in the 2nd inning. And right now, Javier Vasquez has settled in. He has walked nobody. He has struck out 2. And has pitched well. He gave up the double to Tejada in the 3rd inning, but worked his way around that 2-hit inning. Right now, the big play in this game, along with the homers, but defensively getting Tavares on a strikeout, throw him out double play in the 3rd inning, saved a run. Did he go? No.
You know, making that adjustment right there, we talked about his swing, but from the side, Adrian Beltre has made another adjustment because the hip is not closed off.
Right.
He's able to track the ball longer and hold the hands back. The hands didn't have to get started to wrap around the front shoulder and hip. Now those hands are able to stay back and check swing.
Beltre waiting off the end of the bat to short. Cintron up with it. Hustled it out, but it was not enough. A 1-2-3 inning. We've completed 4. 1-1. Scorer leads it off, shows bunt, batting 9th, grounded out his first time up. Bernie Williams and Ivan Rodriguez to follow. A run on 4 hits for Puerto Rico, 1 error. The Dominican Republic, a run on 3 hits and no errors. This ball game so far is living up to expectations. Shallow center field. Tavares, Tejada got it.
Well, 2 different approaches right there by Tavares. When Alfonso Soriano is under the ball, he's calling him off. When it's Miguel Tejada, you got it, Miguel.
Yeah, right. But I tell you, remember we had that game with Cuba where they botched 2 of those, triangle plays there because of the wind. Their outfield played pretty deep. But it's different over here. You got some veteran guys, major leaguers. Now, Puerto Rico's handle it, and Dominica's handle it well.
Both pitches had 58 pitches thrown through the first 4 innings. 80 is the limit. 70 to 75 is what the managers want from their starters. Top of the order, Bernie Williams. He'll take it for a strike. Bernie's 0 for 2 tonight, 4 for 14 in the series. Marte and Bautista are warming up in the bullpen. We'll have action in both bullpens beginning. That's for the Dominican. Bartolo Colon walked 1, struck out 1. RBI off him. Javi Lopez with a double.
You know, Gary, this ballpark is playing a lot like Yankee Stadium with the wind blowing out to right. Short porch in right field. Bernie Williams, one of the best at using his savvy and expertise to find a ball to pull up in that air.
1-1 delivery on the way to him. That one sails away. Bartolo not happy with that. It's 2-1. Jose Mota's downstairs. Jose.
Well, you talk about good company. Kurt Schilling, Pedro Martinez, Greg Maddux, Roger Clemens. But in the last 4 or 5 years, no one has won more games in all of baseball than the guy on the mound wearing number 40 for the Dominican Republic.
Bernie Williams goes the other way. A lose there, and he's got it. Yeah, that's a great note, Jose, because many would never guess that it was Bartolo Colon who would have that have those great numbers.
Absolutely. And the one thing you notice about Bartolo is it came to a point in his career where he understood, I'm not going to get it done through power. These guys are smart hitters. 97, 98, is not going to get it done all the time. He paces himself, but also notice the ability to get out of jams, repeating mechanics, and repeating pitches. That has been a key.
You're right, Jose. Just stopping the bleeding. You're going to have rough innings. You're going to have bad games, but to be able to stop the bleeding. And Bartolo did a great job with the back-to-back doubles from Beltran and Lopez, and then walking and then getting out of the jam.
That was back in that 4th inning. Ivan Rodriguez at the plate. He has doubled, been called out on strikes. Those numbers Jose was referring to, Bartolo Colon has over the last 4 years had 74 wins. That is more than any other major league pitcher in that 4-year period. And last year he didn't hurt his cause when he went 21-8 with Los Angeles. Just a tremendous season, a Cy Young season for Bartolo Colon. Fastball, juice that one up there, and it's 2-1.
And another neat thing about him, I think for some other kids that will be watching, and Oral would agree with this thing, you know, everybody thinks you got to have some nasty breaking pitch all the time. He uses his fastball. He reminds me of a right-handed Boomer Wells. David Wells uses his fastball 90% of the time, but he moves it around. It's heavy. And he gets the job done.
Well, it's a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer.
Sure.
You have the 2-seamer that breaks left to right. The 4-seamer he can throw straight, has a lot of life up in the strike zone, even can cut it a little bit in on lefties. But you know what? This young man, that face, don't let it fool you. There's a very intelligent pitcher in there.
32-year-old's pitch has popped up. Albert Pujols foul territory, and that'll end up in the seats.
I started with Mr. Colon in Cleveland, and we used to call him Boogie Bear. And Fernando Montez, the strength and conditioning coach, would put him on a bike because he'd always come into camp overweight as a young man, and they'd punish him, and you'd see him on the Boogie Bear bike going around. You see him on the Boogie Bear bike going around the complex, and I'm sure he's glad that the WBC has been invented to get away from the Boogie Bear bike.
From trainers who are trying to get him to lose weight.
Yeah, but now his work ethic is unbelievable. The way he has matured, and you don't win 74 games if you don't have an unbelievable work ethic.
3-2 delivery on the way. Bartolo Colon will come into the season 139 wins and 82 losses.
Strong
for his career, and will try and withstand all the attention that a Cy Young Award from the previous season brings to you. So he's up there. This is going to be his last inning if he can get through it. 3-ball, 2-strike count with 2 down. Down to third. Oh! Out of the glove of Beltre. Still got a chance. And got him! That's how hard that ball was hit. Bartolo Colon, with a little help from his friends, sets him down 1-2-3. His work is done, and he's out of the inning. And Beltre's still alive. Game is tied at 1-1. This game is tied at 1-1. Delighted to have with us Jose Oquendo, longtime St. Louis Cardinal organization major league staff member, and now the manager for Puerto Rico. Jose, sometimes games don't live up to expectations. So far, at least we see this one. It's a heck of a baseball game.
This is an exciting game. It's pretty close. Guys doing a good job. Vasquez keeping the ball down. He had one mistake, but he's doing a good job.
You know, Jose, it's Oral Hershiser. I was very impressed pregame watching you work with all the different players, especially Javi Lopez, with your respect back to the organizations in the United States, making sure these guys get all their work in.
Yeah, that's one thing we want to make sure that, I mean, this is spring training. We want to keep that up. The other day, that day off, we came out early. We got our workout, and Happy's doing a good job. He's working hard.
I'm sure you don't want it to be this close, though. It's a good game, but you want to open it up a little bit.
Well, we see if we can get out this inning. Hopefully, our back come alive and we get some good swings.
Jose, thanks very much. Good luck.
Thanks.
Jose Oquendo, he's the manager for Puerto Rico. Javi Vasquez has gone the distance in the ball game for him with a run on 3 hits off him. He's got the bottom third of the order. Juan Encarnacion 0 for 1, grounded out. He's had 2 hits and 9 at bats in the series.
You know, and we've talked to Jose Oquendo and also Manny Acta. They're both doing a wonderful job with their respective teams. They've been undefeated. Obviously, one's going to lose today, but one or both will be major league managers in the future years.
Had to reach for that and popped it up the end of the bat, right by the mound. Valentin comes on and puts it away. Encarnacion is retired, 1 down.
I really believe that. I think they've been working hard in their respective organizations. They're going to get a lot of further credence and respect from these showings. And they're both similar. I mean, they're very serious about what they're doing. They want to be managers. They love the game of baseball and being on the field and working with their players.
Both very articulate, too.
Very. Juan Brito, 1 down, nobody on. The other thing, and all the managers have said this to us, they have 2 things they have to do. First, they got to try and win, manage to win. But secondly, they've got to make sure these ball players get in their work. This is still spring training for these ball players for their major league organizations, and that's a tough one. That's a tough line to stay on here, because you know how much these guys want to win. But they've done it. Talking about Javi Lopez and Jose Oquendo. Javi's breaking in at first base with Baltimore. So out before the game tonight, there was Jose Oquendo out there with ground balls coming to him and showing him, helping him learn how to play first base.
Giving him a lot of tips on how to approach the ball if it was a comebacker, and how to feed the ball to first base to a pitcher.
So that's going on along with the games. That fastball is in there for a strike, 2-2.
And many think that first base is an easy base to play. You can play it below average or average and even actually negatively affect the game. But if you to play it right, you have to really work at being a first baseman.
That one is scooped up, and it'll be a 3-ball 2-strike count on Juan Brito. I've always loved first base as a great artistic position, because I love to see first basemen who can dance. If you've got good feet and can cover that bag with both feet, you can really help your fielders in the course, and your pitcher in the course of the game. But you got to be able to dance, and that may be advantageous for a catcher moving there. Got him on the K. That's the 3rd for Javier Vasquez, 2 down. More great baseball is going to be coming your way. The Classic, presented by Taco Bell, continues at 2 Eastern. The Dominican Republic meets Cuba. ESPN. We'll be right back here for it. 8 o'clock Eastern. Venezuela takes on Puerto Rico. We'll have dinner here and stay for that one, too. At midnight on ESPN Deportes, U.S. takes on Korea. And remember, every game of the World Classic is available in Spanish on ESPN Deportes. A big lineup of games here in the second round as these teams trying to move on to the semis and the final. 2 down, nobody on. Vasquez is dealing right now. He knows his day is about over.
Well, you got to believe Ozzie Guillen back there in Chicago watching this and very impressed with his pitcher. 5 innings against this strong lineup, only 1 run. Young man has been down in the strike zone. His ball has been sharp. It's been late. It's been heavy. And this is quite a lineup to try and walk through this early in his year.
Maybe the best lineup in the Classic Vasquez is facing. He's given up just 3 hits, a run, 4 strikeouts. He'll overthrow that one a little bit in a 1-ball 2-strike count.
There's no doubt that he pitches better when there's a little more intensity, when there's a little more at stake, and he can focus. There's just certain players that are like that. I mean, the guy to my right over here could bring it every time he came out, and not everybody can do that.
1-ball 2-strike delivery. He's got 5 strikeouts. A heck of a starting performance in a 1-1 game.
ESPN2's telecast of the World Baseball Classic, presented by Taco Bell, is brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Get the exclusive new Trio 700W with Windows Mobile.
Old San Juan is where those big cruise ships come in. There you see one there. It's the fortified section of the city that's actually an island on an island. Beautiful there, isn't it? Game tied at 1-1. That's Damaso Marte, who's coming out to do the pitching out of the bullpen, but he had the wrong hat. So they got to go back getting the right color bill for his hat. He's got to have the red one. He's got a blue one.
Well, he's probably got the hat that they wore in Orlando.
Yeah.
And they switched when they got here to the island. But that young man, once they get the right cabeza on him, the right sombrero on the cabeza.
Yeah.
Gracias, amigo.
Yeah. You're welcome. De nada.
De nada.
We'll get your cabeza straight here in a second to get your Spanish all right.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
Good luck. What a job by Bartolo Colon. 5 innings. He gave up 1 run, 4 hits, walked 1. and struck out 1 through 71 pitches.
This kid has got fantastic stuff. We had a little run-in, a little issue over there with the White Sox, and subsequently they traded him this winter. But you cannot deny that three-quarter heavy fastball, moving, breaking pitch, got it all.
He's got the fastball. He's got about 89 to 92 miles an hour. He's got that slurve, and he's got the changeup. Very deceptive delivery. Can be very effective against lefties.
He goes to work here as we've got a 1-1 ball game. Both pitchers, both starters, Bartolo Colon, Javier Vasquez, just outstanding in their performances in this game. Puerto Rico, they fell behind 1-0, have tied it up. They did that in the 4th inning. Lopez had the RBI double. Beltran did a double ahead of him that got him on to score. 1 for 2 in the ball game.
You know, we were talking about the managers earlier, and both were very thankful to not only their own organizations, but the other GMs that let certain players come in, participate. There's a low ball on them. Yeah, 2-2 even count. There's a kid that we're probably going to see for sure in the next day or two, not today, Francisco Liriano, who, is compared to that Felix Hernandez young phenom 97, and he's here.
Loaded with talent. Fouled straight back and just far enough so my life insurance did not kick in.
I was right there, brother.
Did you notice Orel never moved?
He does not move.
Same thing he did on the mound defensively.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, wait a minute.
Just watch it go by.
Oh, my goodness. Here's the pitch.
2-2 delivery on the way, and it's a 3-ball, 2-strike count from the left-hander.
It's all you.
See, he got up to protect me, leaned over here, and you just...
He's right there.
It's a big event. You just stay calm. Big event, stay calm.
Big stage. He's a big stage guy. He's a big stage guy.
Do not jump.
Just breathe.
And he walked him. And didn't look very good doing it.
No.
Beltran is on, leadoff man here in the 6th inning. The RBI. Lopez had it 4th inning.
He takes that high fastball, huh? Or just doubles it down the line, tomahawks it.
And the crowd goes crazy. I'm hoping that Javi's going to have himself a fantastic season, because he's not going to have to catch, and that has to have such a toll on him. And he is become, I didn't think he was early in his first few years, that offensive of a guy. Now he's a powerhouse offensively.
Javi Lopez. Game tied at 1. Leadoff man on, 6th inning. Interesting story Jose Oquendo told us about him. He said Javi was hesitant to come to the Classic. He wanted to get his time in at first base, getting ready to play it, because he's only played 1 game there, and that's where he's going to be for Baltimore. So Oquendo promised that if he'd come, Oquendo would spend time with him working on learning the first base position. Oquendo has kept his promise, and Javi Lopez is here, and he's driven in a run.
Well, Javi did work with Jose today for about 20-25 minutes. We saw the extra work out in front, and they were grinding.
All those games as a catcher. That one is a base hit down the right field line. Juan Encarnacion to get it. Beltran's on his way to 3rd. He'll stop there, and another double for Lopez.
This one was hit a little harder than the other one. The other one he tomahawked a Bartolo Colon fastball. This one was a running fastball that he just put the meat of the bat out there. He has become just a much more powerful hitter, a more complete hitter, drives and runs, hit home runs, and like I said, not having to catch every day 120, 130 times and playing first base in DH. He's going to be having himself, I think, a big year.
Not because it's gone bad here, but why would you bring a left-hander in this situation?
You know, you bring a lefty in because this is probably the guy they were scheduling the work. They timed his workload for today to be the reliever. But I understand, Gary, what you're saying.
You didn't have left-handed bats that he was going to be facing here. Now 2nd and 3rd. The infield is drawn in. Game tied at 1 in the 6th inning. Cruz has grounded out to second base twice. Marte gets the foul ball back at a 1-1 count.
Yeah, that's a great point the Bulldog makes, because it really is. You know, we were talking to both managers, and they are so cognizant of the parent teams of these guys. When I asked Maniac that what's your biggest concern in this series, he said one thing, and that was I want to stay away from injuries.
Big heater up high, 1-2.
So you're probably right, Oro. It was his turn to pitch. At least get an inning or so in. These guys can't sit around for 3 or 4 or 5 days without getting some action.
He's appeared now previously in 2 games. He had worked an inning, given up a run on a hit. 1-2 delivery. That's where it will stay. So a walk to Beltran and then the double by Lopez has put runners on at second and third. Marte coming on for Bartolo Colon in a 1-1 game, and now Puerto Rico's got a chance to take the lead for the first time. Cruz has had 1 hit and 8 at bats in the Classic. Inside to him, 2-2. Puerto Rico's been grinding out the doubles here. 4 of the 5 hits they've got have been doubles in this game.
You know, very surprising at this point in the game, only the 6th inning, to have the infield kind of semi-in.
Yep.
Really opening up a chance for a big inning.
Beltran, the lead runner, breaking ball, stayed off it. He missed with it.
Yeah, I'd have the corners where they're at, kind of semi-medium range, but I'd have my middle infield back. Let's try to avoid 2-run scoring here.
Especially when you have the powerhouse lineup the DR has. You think 1 run is not going to beat us.
That's right.
3 ball, 2 strike count, nobody out. That one up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Beltran scores. Here comes Lopez. Tavares throw to the plate. Not in time. Gets away. Down to second base. Cruz. 3-1 Puerto Rico.
Talk about the infield position, and you can see how shallow they are here. They normally could be back there. Alfonso Soriano might have had a chance to get this ball, at least knock it down and prevent Javi Lopez from scoring. But that ball makes it up the middle, and then there's another mistake. Pujols a little late to the middle on the cutoff, lets the ball get away, which allows Cruz Jr. to go down to second and be in scoring position.
A single and 2 RBIs for Jose Cruz Jr. The error on the throw allows the runner to go to second base.
Well, Tavares making a rush to try and get Lopez. Pujols a little late. Should have already been in the middle of the field, maybe be able to get that ball.
And what happens as an outfielder there, a lot of times when you rush it, you don't get a good grip on the ball. You're trying to be so fast, but your arm speed's already up, and you don't have a good grip, and you know you got to let it go. That's when you're throwing those sinking sliders.
Ricky Leday trying to keep it going. The first 3 have gotten on here in the 6th inning. 2 of them have scored. Now there's 1 down. Marte gets a big out there from Leday, who had singled and walked. You think these Puerto Rican fans want this?
Oh my!
Against this Dominican Republic team, their arch rival.
Yeah, that guy's he's pretty intense right there. I think
he's into it.
That was a reincarnation of John Belushi. That was. Who's become a Puerto Rican baseball fan.
Over 20,000, the sellout crowd here in San Juan, and now it is 3-1 Puerto Rico. And no question coming into this game, the Dominican Republic was the favored team because of their lineup and the offensive numbers they had put up. Not a big favorite, but a favorite. And we're far from over here with the lineups these 2 teams have. This is a round robin as it was in round 1. So the 4 teams all will play one another. Cuba already won their game today over Venezuela 7-2. Only 2 teams will move on here. Here's the 1-1 delivery. That ball is fouled off.
And can't say enough about the corners in, middle, back. If you look at the positioning where Team Dominica is right now, which where they're, Oro and I both agree should have been. There's no doubt he gets to that ball without a problem. He's going to get to that ball in the middle, and at least get to it. No, we have no play, but a slower Javier Lopez does not score.
Valentino for 2. He's 2 for 13 in the Classic. Takes it up high. Marte has struggled here on in relief, and he takes it to 2-2.
Well, one of the problems Marte has had over the course of his career is he's been erratic. He's been up in the strike zone, but when he's down, he can be electric. And this is an oddity for him to face Jose Valentin, because Jose's only had 19 at bats from the right side last year. Normally just hitting from the left side from now on.
Valentin fouls it off. Valentin gave up being a switch hitter last year, and now this year has decided he's going to go back to it again.
Right.
So he's got something to work on here in the springtime. That's hitting the other way again. Bullpen action. Tavares is up in the bullpen. We will see the bullpens now probably become very active in a close game. 6th inning. 3-1. Puerto Rico leading. Tavares looks like he's ready down there and is just throwing to stay warm.
Well, you might have, like you said, Gary, why the lefty, and maybe now that Julian Tavares is throwing, I'll have the same question.
Kind of a surprise with the Beltran, Lopez, and Cruz coming up against him. That's a chopper. This is going to be a very tough play. Beltran's got to barehand it. Not going to get him. Cruz will stop at 3rd.
And he's going to 2nd, and there's nobody there.
They didn't know. Timeout was called.
Heads up play, though.
Yep.
That's what you got to do. Talk about being in the game and intense. That's wonderful.
Big smile. He said, I didn't see the timeout called. But the umpire at second base, that is Adam Dowdy, telling him, yep, it was called. So he'll go back to first.
But that's exactly the way you're taught. You go until they bring you back. You just keep working. Adrian Beltre here gets a good jump, but he was playing very deep. Wrong foots his ball. Outstanding play, but just the depth and the way the ball was chopped, but just fantastic the way he hooked that ball back to Albert Pujols. Great hands.
And kids, if you're watching, don't do that. Do not dive at first base.
But do this.
Do this. If you're not sure if they've called timeout.
Marte is coming out. Runners at 1st and 3rd, 1 down. Puerto Rico up by 2. Cannot help but comment on this. You talk about loving a baseball game and having the time of your life watching it. I mean, these fans have been doing this since about 4 o'clock this afternoon. They lined up to get in here at 3 o'clock in the morning to get extra bleacher seats. And now their country's up 3-1. Tavares, 33 years old, on in relief.
Well, Julian Tavares can't wait to perform on this stage. He loves regular season baseball. He loves postseason baseball, but to play for his country is just unbelievable. So as these fans show their passion in the stands, it will be portrayed on the mound.
Jose Mota.
Well, you mentioned an oral passion, but they've been waiting to get those runs and got it in. And I'll tell you what, I grew up in the Dominican Republic. I have never experienced anything like this. It's like you get goosebumps understanding the impact, the importance. This is the music, salsa, Puerto Rico, Dominican merengue. There's more than that. And oh, you got that experience playing in the Dominican. I remember that too.
Oh yeah, several years playing winter ball. A few of the guys are coaches that I played with here. Junior Noboa, Felix Fermin.
1st and 3rd. There's the squeeze. It's the safety. He's going to score. No play anywhere. Cintron, RBI.
Perfectly executed. The other day he hit a jack. Today he does the little thing.
Watch for his back foot. See if he stays in the box. Is it on the home plate? If this ball's in fair territory, he's out. And that looks like he's out of the box to me. Not on home plate, but out of the box.
Yeah.
That's a pitcher begging.
You know, that's only a pitcher would see that right there.
That's big time begging. It is a 4-1 lead. Still only 1 away. Here's Cora. An RBI and a base hit for Cintron, who drives that run in. And Tavares, he starts out as tough as Marte did, still only 1 away. Great job by Cintron laying down just a beautiful bunt. He's got RBI number 4 in the Classic. First and second now. Tavares pitch foul back, 1-1.
And the key thing there as a hitter is something that he did so well. Granted, yeah, he might have stepped a couple inches into the box there. All good call. But he was calm, and he was patient. Because a lot of times what you end up doing as a hitter is that you want to rush. You want to make sure you want to go meet the ball to try to make sure that it gets down because you got your guy coming. But he waited on it, saw the pitch, pulled it with him. Not only got the run in, but got himself a base hit.
Tavares and the St. Louis Cardinals on in relief. Third pitcher used by the Dominican. Off-speed breaking ball is in. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. 4 runs, 8 hits now for Puerto Rico, including 3 runs scored here in the 6th after Bartolo Colon left the game.
Well, you play early in the inning to prevent 1 run, and you end up with the crooked number. The Dominican offense is going to have to respond.
Cora's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Couple of hits and 9 at-bats in the Classic, and he asks for a timeout. And as expected, the bullpen will stay active. Neither manager wants to get caught short in this game. Torres for the Dominican, right-hander. 1-ball, 2-strike count. Missed away as a tail, 2-2.
You know, if you have to make some comparisons in WBC of the final teams that are left that you can kind of gauge that might be going to San Diego, no doubt these two would have to be considered. Puerto Rico, to me, fellas, is kind of reminding me of a team that upset a monster team in 2003. And that is the Florida Marlins. That had 3 or 4 really good all-stars, and the rest a great nucleus of major leaguers.
That one to center field. Tavares coming. You make the catch. Runners get back.
And who was behind the plate? I can't remember. In 2003 for the Florida Marlins. Oh, a guy named Pudge Rodriguez.
Who just happens to be playing in this game for Puerto Rico. Now there are 2 down. The chant for Bernie begins as Bernie Williams heads to the plate.
Who's the Yankees? Dominica or United States of America? Who's the Yankees there? They both got sick talent. Sick talent. So it's unbelievable.
2 on and 2 down. Bernie Williams is 0 for 3 in this game. The designated hitter leading off, 4 for 15 so far in the series. He has picked up 4 RBIs, including a home run and a double for extra base hits. Julian Tavares trying to get this inning over with. Williams, a base hit will drive in at least 1.
Well, Julian has come in and done his job, even though there was a squeeze. He's gotten an out after that.
Williams first ball hitting. Soriano at second base up with it, and Williams is retired. And indeed, Tavares comes on and gets it done, but against Marte, 3-run score, and it's 4-1 Puerto Rico. A 4-1 lead for Puerto Rico over the Dominican Republic as these 2 great rivals in Caribbean baseball go at one another. Each of them playing for the first time in the second round. Cuba got a victory today, 7-2 over Venezuela. These teams will all get to play one another. You got to pick up a couple of wins in order to move on, and that's what these 2 teams are trying to start out with. Here's win number 1. The Dominican Republic, a team favored probably, but behind, and a 31-year-old right-hander, Jose Santiago's come out to do the pitching, and a line to the short. Cintron's got it, 1 away. Soriano retired.
Jose Santiago split time with Norfolk and the New York Mets, trying to crack into that Met bullpen. High 3/4 delivery, throws the ball downhill very well, just needs to be a little bit more consistent. Right here, being called on to really keep this lead intact, hand it over to the bullpen a little later in the game for his homeland. And I'll tell you, for this early in the season, it's a little bit of pressure.
Pitch is taken down low. Miguel Tejadas delivered a double and got stranded in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game, 3 for 11 in the series for Tejada. Chops that one to short. Cintron. Let's take a look at tonight's Taco Bell pitching summary.
Well, just a clinic by both of them, both giving up 1 run. Polo was a little up early, but when he needed to come out of a jam, he showed his Cy Young form. And Javier Vasquez, the way he threw the ball tonight, he will do very well for Chicago if he can repeat that all year.
And the bats have come alive for Puerto Rico in this game to give them their lead. A strike taken. Pujols 0 for 2, reached on an error. Puerto Rico came in with better pitching than hitting. The Dominican just the other way around. And of course, as baseball would have it, tonight we flipped it the other way again.
Yeah. Who'd have thought that would be happening? But those guys, what a great job Javi and Bartolo did. Almost the numbers almost identical. They were identical in the pitch count, some other categories too.
Dominican Republic has had only 4 base runners in the game. Puerto Rico has had 10. That's a credit to the great job that has been done on the mound by Vasquez, and now Santiago trying to keep it going. A 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Crowd thought they had their man, because they know how dangerous this guy can be.
Well, we're going to see this portion of the order one more time before this game's over with, but with 2 outs, Pujols would love to get it started.
Santiago would love dearly to end it right here so that you keep that order one more time only. This part of it they do not want to turn over. Tejada, Pujols, Ortiz, Alou, 2-2.
That is such an important thing that is not talked about a lot, you know, in the middle parts of the game when someone bobbles something or you walk somebody and you don't really think about it. But trust me, the coaches are thinking about it on both sides, because they know that now they've got that lineup turned over and your key guy may get one more extra at bat.
This is with a breaking ball. The count goes full, 3-2. Javier Vasquez did not walk anybody. Bartolo Colon walked only 1. Marte has walked 1, so the total walks in the game have only been 3. As we've seen these pitchers throwing strikes. 3-2 delivery to short. Cintron, it's your inning. Three up, 3 down. Puerto Rico 4, the Dominican Republic 1. Puerto Rico's gone 4-8-1. The Dominican 1 3-1 through 6. Do not try this at home.
But if you're going to, make sure you clean the floor first.
Now we know why they were cleaning the dugout roof.
Well, you can do it at home, but with the exclusive supervision of a Puerto Rican or a Dominican by your side, walking you through it.
I'm going to rely on you for this. Thank you so much.
Well, you can slide in a Cuban. We do the salsa and the merengue.
We go to the 7th inning of a 4-1 ball game with Puerto Rico on top. And the pitch is going to be taken inside. Heck of a ball game. Ivan Rodriguez, he was the only Puerto Rican in the lineup not to hit in the 6th inning. He has doubled 1 for 3. Julian Tavares stays on for the Dominican on the mound. Rodriguez had a double in the 1st inning. Takes that one to left center field. Near the warning track. Tavares has got it 1 away.
Great stroke. I tell you what, Pudges hit the ball hard 3 times. He hit that one to Adrian Beltre that almost knocked his glove off. That Adrian had the mindset to still know that he had a chance to get him. But here's his swing. The thing about Pudge Rodriguez's swing, when he's on, he's got that good inside-out swing. Still could pull the ball because he gets almost basically the knob of the bat to the ball, then snaps his wrist. And that's why you get some good backspin line drives off of the bat of Pudge Rodriguez when he's right.
Kept that one in the yard for the first out of the 7th inning. Beltran has already scored 2 runs. A double and a walk got him on. He has also flied out. Carlos Delgado for Puerto Rico has not played in the Classic. He's got a tendonitis in the left elbow. He hasn't hit for a couple of weeks. He's not available. Not now anyway. Maybe later. But it is a long maybe right now. Beltran with 1 down, nobody on. The 0-2 pitch to him is a fastball away.
You know, Gary, that shows how excited Carlos Delgado is to support this event, to be here with his countrymen, and to support Team Puerto Rico.
He went back to New York for an examination day before yesterday, and then came right back.
Yeah. He was not, even though he's not playing, he was not going to miss this game.
Well, you plop him in the middle of that lineup, all of a sudden you rival the Dominican lineup a little bit.
1-2 delivery on the way, and a breaking ball that misses outside. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
In the resume contest between the two clubs, that would help you play catch up very quickly if you're Team Puerto Rico.
Right now they don't need to play catch up. They've got the 4-1 lead, out hitting the Dominican 8-3 in this ball game. RBIs, Javi Lopez has picked up 1. Cruz had a big 2 RBI single and an RBI by Cintron. On the other side, the Dominican Republic got the Beltre home run in the 2nd inning that put them ahead. But 10 in a row have been retired by Puerto Rican pitchers since. Down to first and a foul ball. It'll stay full at 3-2.
Now you see Carlos Delgado over there in the dugout watching his new teammate Carlos Beltran, talking about Julian Tavares on the mound. Baseball is spoken here. Right. They're not over there just goofing around. They're talking about Julian's grip on his breaking ball is coming out the top half.
Ripped to second base. Soriano's not going to get it in time. It'll be an error.
Yeah, that ball just ate him up like if Soriano was like sushi or something. That thing was hit so hard. They have hit. Here's a pitch, a little sinker, and he stayed right on it. He's getting that full 2-handed swing that he's famous for. He doesn't let go of his top hand, and he hit a rocket. He should have had it, and that's where you get into that. No, as Earl was saying, you know, he has these lapses sometimes. That ball was hit pretty darn hard.
I would have liked to see him square his shoulders up a little bit there.
I don't know if he had time.
Out there at all.
Keeps the inning alive. Runners at first and second on an error, and for Javi Lopez now a 3-hit ball game. Lopez is 3 for 4. He's on at first base. Cruz a big 2 RBI single that came in the 6th inning. 1 for 3 in this game, and a chance here for Puerto Rico in the 7th inning to add to their 4-1 lead. A .250 career major league hitter with over 4,000 at-bats, Jose Cruz Jr. Last year with Arizona and Boston and Los Angeles, combined with 18 homers, 50 RBIs, and 115 games. Outside doing for a ball. Leday waiting on deck. We talk about the names. You look at the Dominican middle of the order: Pujols, Ortiz, Alou, Beltre, Tejada's in there. You look at Puerto Rico: Beltran, Lopez, Cruz, and Leday. You say, well, that's not quite the same, but for tonight at least, Puerto Rico, they're the ones who've gotten it done at the plate.
That's what I was comparing them to, that Marlins team. You know, they had 3 or 4 stars and a couple of young upstart pitchers that we really didn't know that well, but now we do. And look at how Dickie Gonzalez pitched the other day, and then you're getting some quality relief from some other no-name guys, the lesser-name guys, let's put it that way. And then you get a Javi Vasquez come in, and he's the stopper.
A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Cruz waiting on it, reaches off the mound and in the center field base hit. Beltran will score. Runners at first and second. A 5-1 lead. There you go, Russell.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's just Team Puerto Rico that, you know, they came swinging the bat today. There's no doubt about it. They've hit almost everything hard. I mean, very few bad at bats, even when they've made outs. Line drive, long fly balls. I've been very impressed. It seems to me that Puerto Rico came into this thing very focused, and I say this thing, the whole WBC, very focused and in tremendous shape. You got guys like Ivan Rodriguez and Bernie Williams. These are older players, and they're coming in great shape.
10 hits, 5 runs. Puerto Rico with a 5-1 lead. A pitching change. First and second, 1 out. Tavares says, well, as he throws it away, that's my night. Now Sullivan Torres, the right-hander, a workhorse out of the bullpen, 34 years old.
Well, his fastball tops out at about 94. He has a split finger. He's been a workhorse, as Gary said. He can be used in multiple roles. Electric at times. And right here, he needs to shut it down.
These big bats of the Dominican can come back, but we are in the 7th inning, so you got to keep this within striking distance. Ricky Leday has gone 1 for 2 and a walk. Down at second base, Javi Lopez, he had a single. Jose Cruz on at first. Cruz with the RBI base hit. He's now driven in 3 in the ball game. Lopez has 3. Puerto Rico's on top, and the Classic will continue. Mexico, Korea, second round action. That's coming up. ESPN 2 and ESPN 2 HD at 11 o'clock Eastern time. 0-1 delivery. Down to first base. Albert Pujols will go to the bag. Runners move up, and there are 2 down. Games that have already been played here in the second round of the Classic. The United States with a very tough win over Japan, 4-3. Korea, Mexico coming up. And here, Cuba defeated Venezuela 7-2 this afternoon. And now you're watching the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico.
And that Team Korea is a fun team to watch. I'll tell you that. They have some really exciting players. They got a bunch of guys named Lee. They're not related. It's just that's a popular last name over there. But keep an eye on Yop Lee, their 4th batter.
Valentin to center field. Tavares can't get it. Here's 1 run. Good break. Cruz. Cruz coming to the plate. He is safe. Should have had him.
He did have him. The umpire was going to call him out, but when he bobbled the ball, and then he reached back and actually tagged home plate, because I don't think he tagged it, and the umpire had not made a call. So if he hadn't made a call, that means he wasn't out, but he hasn't gotten safe to the back. There's the base hit. Nice piece of hit. Valentin finally gets on top with his top hand. He's been popping a lot of balls up. Got a clutch RBI single.
It is 7-1. Down to second base goes Valentin. All 3 runs are unearned. There's the play at the plate. You see the ball got away. He got back and tagged it before Brito could put a tag on him. So both runs scored. The one error that opened this inning, Beltran's ground ball to Soriano, has cost the Dominican dearly.
Well, if you're going to label these teams, you got the boppers, and then you got the scrappy Puerto Rican team.
Yeah.
And so this inning really has been scrapped together with some bad defense by the DR.
Cintron takes it to left center field. Alou moving over, and he will put it away for the final out. But a 3-run 7th inning. The Puerto Rican fans up. They've been up all night. It's 7th inning stretch time. They've earned it. ESPN2's telecast of the World Baseball Classic presented by Taco Bell. 7th inning stretch time concluding here. For the rest, it's Estrada, Oral Hershiser, Jose Mota. I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you on board. 7-1. This is right where Puerto Rico would want to see David Ortiz coming to the plate, leading it off. Nobody on. The designated hitters 0 for 2, 2 for 9 so far in the Classic.
Some defensive changes for Team Puerto Rico behind the plate. One of the Molina brothers, Yadier Molina, might be the best defensive catcher in the family between Jose and Benji.
That's saying a lot.
That's saying an awful lot.
Don Rodriguez out of there. There he is behind the plate. He comes on here in the bottom half of the 7th inning with his club up 7-1. Ortiz takes it away. Jose Santiago on in relief. Retired the side in order in the 6th inning. The Dominican Republic has not had a base runner since the 3rd inning. With 2 down, Miguel Tejada had a double. That's their last base runner. Ortiz fouls it off.
Well, one of the question marks of this series for Puerto Rico was going to be their pitching. And so far, they've just done a fantastic job with their big guys who have pitched, and also with, like I said, the lesser name guys that have come in and just done a fantastic job, including this kid, Jose Santiago.
They came in with a 1.08 ERA. Fair ball right on the line. Valentin, who just came on, makes the pitch. Ortiz is retired. One down here in the 7th inning. Jose Mota.
Moments ago spoke with Puerto Rican slugger Carlos Delgado, who has not been able to participate so far in the World Baseball Classic. Asked him about his condition on his left elbow, non-throwing elbow. He says it's getting better, but still too painful to swing the bat.
So it sure doesn't sound like he's going to do much more than cheerlead in the Classic.
It was almost the pain in his eyes telling me unable to participate in this thing.
Yeah. Came here and wanted to be in it so bad and tried, but it just hurt too much.
Well, it's one thing to be day to day. It's another thing to miss a whole week. And now you're going to talk about getting your timing back, making sure after a few swings in batting practice the next day it's not irritated. You have to build that back up.
0-1 delivery on the way, and he fooled Moises Alou. 0 for 2 in the game. Moises is grounded out, flied out. Santiago's picked up right where Javier Vasquez left off as the starter. He's shutting down this high-powered, high-priced offense of the Dominican. That's going to be a base hit down the line. Hung one there. Leday over to get it. He'll turn for 2. Here comes a throw. They got a shot. He is out.
Risky move by the veteran Moises Alou, who hammers this ball left center. He's always running hard. I mean, Moises puts his head down and always runs hard. There's Ricky Ledet. We were talking about what a great athlete he is. He may not be the fastest guy to steal bases, but he gets to the ball fast, and he's got a hose. Nailed him.
A very risky play when you're in the 7th inning down 7-1.
And you got Beltre coming up behind you.
2 down, nobody on. Ledet with a fine play.
So Ricky Leday has played all 3 outfield positions in his career, and being a left-hander, that really was advantageous for that because he can get into the corner very quickly and make that wheel.
Beltre, the home run, the lone run that is up on the board right now for the Dominican. Puerto Rico's made no mistakes in this game. They had a very big play in the 3rd inning when they got to strike him out, throw him out, double play on Tavares trying to steal second as Soriano struck out on what would have been ball 4. It ended what could have been an inning for the Dominican before it ever got started.
There's been a contrast in the defensive play. The last inning where Puerto Rico scored all their runs, you had 3 botched plays by the defense. Encarnacion not catching up to a routine fly ball. Alfonso Soriano on Beltran's hard ground ball not getting there. And then the catching play at home that you see right here wasn't all the bats. There's the error. The Beltran smash to Soriano. The fly ball to right on Encarnacion does not catch up to. And then the play at the plate on the base hit. Tavares' throw home. This ball just didn't hold on to it.
So 3 unearned runs resulted from that Soriano error. The Dominican bullpen now, in 2 innings, they've given up 6 runs on 7 hits with 3 of the runs earned. So their bullpen has really let them down, as well as their defensive play here in this game. Pedro Feliz has come on as the pinch runner. Feliz on for Beltre, who draws the walk. It comes with 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Feliz the base runner. Encarnacion the hitter. He's 0 for 2.
Well, they gain a little speed over there at first base, but really not looking for a stolen base here. They're looking for the long ball. They need to calm the base runners down a little bit.
0-1 fastball is right there. 0-2.
And Pedro Feliz at first base. What a talent this kid is. And I expect will continue to be. I think he's going to make himself into a nice little star in the National League. Did a great job with both Moises and Barry Bonds out of the lineup a lot of time last year.
Two-strike pitch. That's going to be in the gap into right center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Feliz coming to third base. Played in by Beltran, and they'll hold him up at third. It'll be a double. Now you see the importance of a Lou going down on that attempt to stretch a single to a double.
Well, you're right, Gary. I'm sure Moises is thinking about it right now. There's nobody who knows the game better in this ballpark than himself. Juan Encarnacion takes this fastball right down the heart of the plate. A nice, basic, solid inside-out swing. Drives it into the gap. Did a great job right there, not trying to do too much with that pitch.
That will result in a pitching change. Santiago will be coming out with 2 down and 2 on here in the 7th inning. It's 7-1 Puerto Rico. Yet another beautiful evening here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Could not be nicer for baseball. And right now a 7-1 lead for Puerto Rico with 2 down, and Kiko Calero, 31-year-old right-hander, delivers a breaking ball strike. Brito, the catcher, up.
Kiko had a nice solid year for Oakland in middle and relief and setup. 2-pitch pitcher, sinker slider, but he varies the break on that slider. Did an outstanding job last year against right-handed hitters. Only hit 162 off of it.
Wow.
If you're going to time a jam to get into with the Dominican lineup, this is the time to be in a jam, this part of the order.
Feliz on at third base. Encarnacion with a double is on at second. But there are 2 down. Brito doing the catching, 0 for 2. Pops that one up outside of first base. Valentin is there. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left in scoring position. 7-1 Puerto Rico. 7-1 lead. Puerto Rico hitting as we go to the 8th inning. They beat Panama 2-1, the Netherlands 8-3, and Cuba 12-2 to go 3-0 in the first round. They are now trying to beat the Dominican in the first game of round 2 to keep their record at 4-0. They've out-hit the Dominican Republic 11-5, outscored them 7-1. Cora is 0 for 3 in the game. Takes that to right field. That is deep and caught before it got to the track. Bernie Williams playing for Puerto Rico. What if he ended up playing against Team USA and his Yankee teammate Derek Jeter? What if he had to go after Jeter in a takeout slide at second base?
Well, that is a very interesting question. I think, you know, I'm going to be gone and G is going to be out for the year. I think, you know, one of the most important things about this tournament, you know, I figured, you know, people should get out of this is, you know, just the excitement of playing for your own country. And baseball it's played a certain way. And I think there's a situation that you need to be physical. I think you got to go with your instincts and just react to the play.
That's a good answer. That's a media savvy but intelligent. You play hard, you play safe, you play dirty, you get hurt. I'll play hard.
Bernie Williams. The way this team's playing right now, it's a question of whether the USA will stay in long enough to get to face Puerto Rico.
Really? To get to that point.
Today over Japan.
Well, the way the umpires are calling the game in that situation.
I felt bad for Japan today. 1-1 delivery. Pitch is taken outside for a ball. Bernie Williams, 1 down, nobody on, 8th inning, 0 for 4 for Bernie in this game. He's got a 3-game hit streak. He's had a hit in all the other games that have been played. DH in that leadoff spot. Classic matchup here of these rivals from the Caribbean. Off the fist to short, Miguel Tejada. 2 down in the 8th.
Got him inside there, but you know, it's funny when he laughed about that question, because even though Bernie Williams is, you know, replaced Reggie Jackson as Mr. October, has got World Series records, you know, he's still got to worry about Derek Jeter. That's Mr. Yankee. And he goes, if I take him out, I'm done.
That's right.
George goes, okay, thank you, Bernie, taking my boy out.
Yadier Molina will get his first at bat. He came on to do the catching. Pudge Rodriguez, who started, went 1 for 4. Now Molina gets a shot at it, and you can see when given a chance, he has come through. And his numbers with the Cardinals last year. 1-0 delivery with 2 down is there for a strike from Solomon Torres.
Well, the bat potential is there. Just looking for the reps, looking for a little bit more discipline at the plate. He's been waiting for his opportunity, and this might be the biggest prospect in the family as far as coming along with the ability.
1-1 delivery to him. Takes that one up in the air, and a 9-iron shot. Right field. Arncanesian is there, and he's got it. So Torres retires the side in order. The question now, can the Dominican bats find a way to cut into the 7-1 lead? Shot at one another. And we are happy you have joined us here in a much anticipated game where Puerto Rico's got the 7-1 lead over this high-powered offense of the Dominican Republic that's running out of outs to work with here as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Tavares leading it off, batting in the number 9 spot. Soriano and Tejada due up. A single, 1 for 2, 1 for 10 so far in the Classic. Taken away, Kiko Calero on the mound.
Well, if you're going to have a place in the order to have Kiko Calero come in with all these right-handed hitters, righties only hitting 162 off him last year. The slider. You know, you talk about Spider-Man. This might be Slider-Man.
I like it.
He spent all night working on that. You know that, Russ?
Yeah, he probably did.
He did.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he did.
No.
We know Oral did.
No.
2 ball, 1 strike count.
He's waiting for the right time that Kiko was going to come in the game.
Timing is everything.
Oh.
Strike taken on the inside corner, trying to get a walk.
You know, he was a pitcher about timing. He had that thing going down, and he knew when to look to Tommy and go, Tommy, take me out. I'm winning right now.
Wait a minute. No, why wouldn't you use an example like 2-2 fastball in and then hit the target? Not Tommy, it's time to bail. I need my W.
Here's the 2-2 delivery.
Oh.
Almost wanted to chase, decided not to, and it goes 3-2.
I think Tommy Lasagna's in the ballpark somewhere.
The ambassador of the World Baseball Classic. You know, Tommy went to all 16 nations or something like that.
Well, I heard there was free food everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I knew that was coming. Cora makes the play. Tavares is retired. 1 away here in the 8th inning. The World Baseball Classic, you're getting to see the best from the nations. 16 of them involved here. The opportunity for these teams to go at one another, and you can follow it all on worldbaseballclassic.com. Baseball is spoken here and there. Leadoff man, Soriano. He is 0 for 3 in the ball game and 0 for 11 in the Classic. He has struck out, lined out, and grounded out. So it has not so far been a good Classic for Alfonso Soriano. Pujols, Ortiz, and Soriano combined for an 0 for 9 in this game tonight. They only have 5 hits. Credit that to this pitching staff, this Puerto Rican staff. Now they've lowered their ERA to 1.13 in the 4 games they've worked. They've given up 4 earned runs in 32 innings pitched. 2-0 delivery, bears down and gets it in 2-1.
Well, the strongest pitching staff coming into the tournament might have been the Venezuelans, anchored by Johan Santana. Then you might have looked at the Dominican pitching staff if Pedro Martinez was here. I think the Puerto Rican staff might have fell into 3rd place there.
I agree. I don't think anybody anticipated this kind of a start for this Puerto Rican staff, and then Javier Vasquez with a great start here tonight for them. They've had wins for their starters going into the ball game. Ramon Orlando got one. Nicky Gonzalez, the starters, got a win. Jose Santiago out of the pens got a win.
Avi should get one tonight. And Joel Pinheiro, we know is the guy, you know, over there in Seattle with Gil Messi and the other kid, I think it's Soriano, the pitcher that they haven't kind of worked out yet. But Joel's got great stuff, and if he's healthy, you know, he could come out and get, again, those guys like that can get very pumped up for these type of games.
Here's the 3-2 delivery on the way, and he walked him. Soriano does not get a lot of those, but he got one right there against Kiko Calero. earlier today. Lazo for Cuba, who did not have a good game one, got a chance at a start, got himself out of a jam. Vizquel got the ball caught in his jersey. That opened up an inning. Frederic Cepeda delivered the home run. Lozano, who's the catcher, backed up all the talking with a shot of his own. And I'll tell you something, for all of us, I think it's fair to say that was a major surprise. Cuba was coming off a devastating loss 12-2 to Puerto Rico. And we all said, we did that game, we all said, how will they respond?
Well, a very young lineup. They had the turnover since year 2000, the debacle in the Olympics, and average age of about 24 with the Cuban team. But they did respond, and we all were surprised. And it's good. It's good for this tournament. It's good for Cuba. And it's kind of fun to watch. You know, people have booed Cuba team because of the politics, but I don't think they've booed the players.
I agree. I'm falling in love with some of those players. You know how I feel about the second baseman, the kid who hit the home run, the switch hitter, I think is a fantastic young hitter. Some of the pitchers have impressed me. What impressed me today is that they bounced back like that and came back so strong. I really was not expecting that. I think they have individual talent. I didn't think they have that strong team talent, but they're right in the mix of this thing now.
They're going to play the final game in the second round against Puerto Rico on Wednesday. Puerto Rico, the team that had that 2-1 win against them in round one. Right now, a 7-1 Puerto Rico lead in the 8th inning. Runner on at first base, Miguel Tejada, the middle of the order. Runner on at first base. This is where it can still get dangerous. The big bats coming up. Cuba's victory gives them the early 1-0 start. Venezuela has really struggled. Even though they made it to the second round, it's been a struggle, giving up those 7 runs today. And now one of these two teams will join Cuba with a 1-0 start.
Venezuela needs to kind of have a little prideful team meeting and just kind of kick themselves start. They got some great guys on that team, some veterans.
2-1 delivery inside, 3-1. Calero struggling with the strike zone.
And they need to just get themselves back on track, you know, and start playing some quality baseball. Start playing the good defense and the good pitching. Get some timely hitting. They haven't been hitting. They haven't been getting any of the 3 factors that they're pretty good at.
Venezuela won the Caribbean World Series this year, and they had hoped to use that as momentum to move on in the Classic. 3-1 delivery right there with a fastball. You can see these Dominican hitters here trying to draw a walk. Even Miguel Tejada. They need base runners.
Well, you can respect a hitter as much as you want, but you still need to throw strikes. Miguel Tejada making Kiko throw it in the strike zone. Pujols on deck. David Ortiz in the hole. You need to throw strikes.
Miguel Tejada with a double, 1 for 3. Chops that one foul at the plate. Stays at 3 balls, 2 strikes. This team for the Dominican beat Venezuela 11-5, Italy 8-3, and Australia 6-4 in the first round. And in those games, you take a look at what they did, and then you look the bottom line tonight. Those same players, 2 for 11. The home run hit by Beltre is now out of the game. 3-ball, 2-strike delivery towards short. Cintron, Cora, Valentin. Excited about it because they are here, those in the stands and on the field. Puerto Rico trying to go 1-0 second round. A 7-1 lead over the Dominican Republic as we go to the 9th inning. Rodney doing the pitching. Beltran at the plate. That one towards second base. Soriano's a softball right field, makes the play. Beltran is retired. One down here in the ninth. Beltran, a good night. He scored 3 runs with a double, a walk, and an error getting on.
Fernando Rodney, property of the Detroit Tigers, battled some arm problems last year, but had some good solid time in the big leagues. 44 innings. Pretty good command pitcher. Only 17 walks, throws the ball downhill. I think this fastball must have movement because that hat's got a little angle to it.
You're right about that. That's a base hit to center field. Valentin really strung that one on his first at bat. He's got a base hit. Let's get out on the field. Find Jose Mota. Jose.
I do have to give a lot of credit to the Puerto Rican hitters. You guys recall earlier in the game against Colón, they started lining the balls right at people. Well, watching them here in the dugout, it was like one guy telling the other, they will fall, guys. They are falling 12 times today. Sticking with the plan and staying positive.
Amazing offense. Not expected. Not like this anyway. Not 7 runs and 12 hits.
Jose,
Yes.
I wanted to ask him if he expected this type of pitching from Puerto Rico. I can almost you know, see the hitting. I mean, they got some hitters, but the pitching, brother.
I did. You know why, Orestes? Mainly because they're feeding off these fans.
Yes.
And also, remember, Javi Vasquez got extended today, and he was talking over here to my left about being able today to work on a few more things that maybe he wasn't able to work on in his previous outing and getting stretched out. So all the credit goes to him for giving him the offense, you know, get a chance to do something for his stuff.
And another reason maybe that just came to mind again, Ivan Rodriguez is leading this pitching staff, and remember what he's done with some other staffs in the past.
And you have to listen to Ivan Rodriguez. I mean, a true leader, a guy that really has put out his face not only for the Puerto Rican team, but for this whole baseball classic, and the fans of Puerto Rico have really eaten that up.
You know, Jose, the motivation of pitching in front of your hometown fans could make you work out a little harder when you're not with your team yet. A little more focus early on for the Puerto Rican players because they know they're going to be home for the first 2 rounds.
You are right, Oral. In fact,
that one's going to be foul. Go ahead, Jose.
Second baseman Alex Cora was telling me, you know, in this game today, I have felt like I want to do stuff maybe out on track in the United States, like bunting for a base hit. I mean, that's like the true instinct of the emotions taking over.
All they got to do is carry it through here in the 9th inning, and they'll have their 4th win against no losses in the Classic. Man on at first base. Valentin, Cruz at the plate. What a day. We're talking about the guys you don't expect to produce. Here's one right here. Jose Cruz Jr. has had an enormous day. 2 RBI single in the 6th inning, the RBI single in the 7th inning. He has scored 2 runs in the ball game and has been part of a flawless defensive effort by Puerto Rico. Runner goes. He's got another base hit. And Canesión up with it, 1st and 3rd, 1 out.
You know, Jose makes a valid point in talking to Alex Cora about the passion, the intensity, the detail play, doing things here that he might not do in the United States. And I think that's something we hear from the longtime veteran ball players who used to say, we played the game better, these guys might be faster and stronger with more talent. And it's the frustration of the modern day manager trying to get players to concentrate on the little things. I wish these guys would learn this lesson from this Classic, the passion of playing for your country and your flag, and the details that you look into in the game.
Well, what happens is just that. You're playing for pride. You're playing what you started playing this game for to begin with. But obviously it gets a little convoluted when you start the business of baseball, and Major League Baseball becomes individualistic at times.
But if I'm a fan at home, I want the players to play at their highest level. Every game I pay a ticket, and I understand that sometimes you can't play at the highest level because of the length of the season, but you play the game with detail and concentration.
Puerto Rico is doing that. Here's Leday, another big participant in this game defensively, and at the plate, a single and a walk. 1 for 3. Runners on at 1st and 3rd. 13 hits on the board now for Puerto Rico. Their hitters 3, 4, and 5 have gone 8 for 14 with 4 RBIs and 7 runs. Beltran, Lopez, Valentin, who came on, and Cruz. High fly ball. Tavares coming over in center. He's got it. Runners will stay not deep enough to score Valentin from 3rd base.
And if they can hold on here, fellas, And hypothetically, let's say Korea loses to Mexico, they'd be the only undefeated team on the whole WBC. There's only one other undefeated team going into tonight, and that is Korea.
They're in pretty good shape right now. They would like to tack on something here. We remind you the Classic will continue, presented by Taco Bell. Mexico and Korea, second round action. That's coming up next and available on ESPN Deportes. I still haven't got this time change down.
Right.
It's midnight here in Puerto Rico.
It's Atlantic time.
It's Atlantic time.
11 in New York.
7-1 lead. Puerto Rico on top. Pitch is taken up high.
10 in Nashville.
9 in Dallas.
I knew I'd get help on this. As soon as I opened that door, it's like I look at you two and I knew, here we go. We're going to go through all the time zones.
All the way to.
He's been waiting for that all night. You just set him up.
Now you're going to jump on that just because we get you on that slider one that you threw out there.
Valentine, runner goes from first. He gets that one to center field. Tavares will drift over towards right and put it away. No runs, 2 hits. 2 are left on base. Puerto Rico needs 3 more outs. Protect the lead. Pujols, Ortiz, and Alou do up bottom of the 9th for the Dominican. We go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. J.C. Romero has come on to try and wrap it up. Pujols, Ortiz, and Alou are due up.
Puerto Rico's got to be feeling pretty good. They took on Cuba and they beat them 12-2. Now they're winning 7-1. They're bringing this little lefty right here.
Well, you wonder why the left-hander with this big right-handed coming up, but David Ortiz on deck. I'll go lefty.
Yeah, well, it's been beautiful. These guys have come up with nobody on base.
You know why you got the left-hander going here, even with Pujols up. He's had an 0 for 3. This is outside with it. Javier Vasquez, who went 5 innings, giving up a run on 3 hits. The starter for Puerto Rico could win this game. Marte, who came on in relief. Damaso Marte could be the loser. Down to third. Valentine to first. One down, bottom of the 9th. Mexico and Korea, they're next. 1 away, 7-1 lead. David Ortiz an 0 for 3. He's gone 2 for 10 in the series. He's not had particularly good at-bats in this game. Romero, the left-hander, to him for a strike.
Well, J.C. Romero only had lefties hit off of him 198. Probably one of the better resumes in the bullpen for Puerto Rico. 7 years in the big leagues, pitching for Minnesota. Outstanding quality arm.
0-1 delivery. That one towering fly ball. He just missed. Cruz.
Yeah, he sure just missed that one. You were talking about that one that if he just tattoos it right would go over everything. That almost was it, but that got in on it.
Bases empty. Alou has had a single, got thrown out trying to stretch it into a double in the 7th inning. The only run the Dominican Republic has, the homer by Beltre that came in the 2nd inning. They've been out hit 13-5 in this game. And the pitchers have been magnificent. Vasquez, Santiago, Kiko Calero, and now J.C. Romero for Puerto Rico on the mound. Tomorrow the Dominican plays Cuba. Venezuela will play Puerto Rico. Round robin format continues here in the 2nd round. The 1-1 is bounced. 2-1 on Alou.
But it looks like the bragging rights for today, at least, is going to go to San Juan and not Santo Domingo, and the Bronx and not Washington Heights.
the rivalry in the Caribbean. These two teams. A grounder off the glove. Third base. Valentin no play. It'll be a base hit for Lou with 2 down here in the 9th inning.
He wanted that one. Go ahead.
Well, the last thing Moises Alou wanted to do is make the last out after the base running blunder. It would not have been a very short night for him.
Molina goes to the mound, the catcher. Making sure Romero is okay after he stretched to try and handle that ground ball. Jose Oquendo, the manager of this Puerto Rican team, knowing how much this win would mean to baseball in Puerto Rico and these fans. Pedro Feliz.
It'll be good for them too, because baseball, their productivity of major leaguers has dropped a little bit over the last few years. This will be good for Puerto Rico.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down.
And it all starts with the little leaguers and more of that. They've kind of turned their sights to basketball a little bit, so got to get them back on that baseball thing.
Baseball wanted to generate excitement with a classic. Well, you can hear it here. Just missed near the letters on that one, and a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Trying to get the attention of the bullpen. If Puerto Rico can end it here, their ERA will drop down to 1.06 if they do not give anything else up. They held Pujols and Ortiz to an 0 for 8 combined in this game. A Dominican team that came into the day tied for the league in the Classic in home runs.
They're trying to get their attention down there because the phone's it's so loud in the ballpark they can't hear the phone ring.
3-1 delivery. 3-2 with a runner at first and 2 down. Right center field. Beltran called off. Cruz. Game over. Romero closes it out. Watch the pitcher. That's how much they want it. In 2 games now, Puerto Rico has outscored their 2 biggest rivals, Cuba and the Dominican, 19-3. And they have won the first game, second round for Oral Hershiser, Orestes Estrada, Jose Mota, and all of our crew. I'm Gary Thorne. Thank you for joining us, everybody. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. We take you now, Mexico, Korea, Dave, Rick, and Eric.